VTV Channel 6. Live high school football coverage in high definition. Presented by L&L Motor, Ashley Regional, The Advisor Group, Moon Lake Electric, Pilot Logistics, and Strata Networks.
Good evening and welcome to VTV Channel 6 live coverage of high school football action. My name is Mark Mason, with me is Brian Nielsen, and we are here in beautiful Roosevelt City at Union Cougars home stadium where Union hosts Uintah. And Brian, for the first time in 50 years, both programs come into tonight's game undefeated.
The Basin Bowl. Everybody waits all year for this game to happen. Like you said, both teams starting off real good this year, both 2-0, coming off some big wins. Union off of Ben Lomond and North Stampede, and Uintah winning against Ogden and Layton Christian handily. So both of them have momentum coming into tonight's game.
Yeah, and the kickoff tonight's going to be the Utes kicking to the Cougars, and it started about an hour ago looking like we might have some weather, but it looks like it's blowing around us. Beautiful night, 71 degrees here. And here's the kickoff, Brian. Unbelievable what's happened. Fans showing up 2 hours early for the game. Stands full on both sides of the ball. Kickoff goes to the 13-yard line. Looks like an impressive run back, Brian. He's got one to beat. He does not get it done.
Latui there. Looks on about a 20-yard return.
Yeah, number 18, Vil Latui. And Brian, tonight's game is going to be a rushing game. We have two studs on the side of the ball for the Cougars. Weston Horrocks, number 20. He is a beast. Look at his numbers for the year. 5 rushing touchdowns, Brian. 342 yards. There's no secrets. Tackle him, you win. So they go to a quick out. Latui catches it.
Catch that brought out of bounds by a slew of Utes there.
But that's an effective first down play, Brian. First thing it does is it makes the corners realize they can't just look into the backfield and attack the running back. They're going to have to watch out. Winterton, number 11, has started for 3 years, and we know he's got a cannon.
Well, like I said, they probably are keen on those running backs, so they've gone to a passing game here. Double there. Oh, he gives the ball. It's fumbled.
The ball's on the ground, Brian. I believe the Utes have it.
Uintah's got it. It's kind of an option play. He had his choice to give it to the running back or keep it. And a little miscommunication. Both of them wanted the ball.
Well, you're going to see on the L&L Motor replay, Brian, what happened is on that option, it's a read option. The quarterback's trying to see what happens with the end. The end stayed true, so the right play is to go inside on the handoff. But he did it too late, and the running back had already left. Nick Smith had already departed. So now Uintah with the ball, the fake handoff.
Position. Oh, Rock keeps his feet, though. 56 comes in. They're calling as a fumble there. You're going to see who comes up off this pile. Number 54 for the Union.
Oh, look at that! Union. The ball hits the turf on consecutive plays, and guess who has the ball back but the Union Cougars?
Watch him get rocked. He's got it. His bell's got to be ringing right there. 56.
And that's
and then 23 comes in, just gets his hand on the ball and strips it.
And he recovers it, does he not? No, it looks like number 54 might have recovered it. That might have been Jordan Gurr
that Nick Smith
came up
caused
with it.
The fumble.
So Brian, back-to-back fumbles. Winterton with 4 out. He gets a heavy rush and then gets sacked.
Good penetration by the defense there. Number 31 for the Utes. Dakota Havens credited for that sack. So they'll march him back 7 yards. It'll be second, 17.
Wow, big play, and you saw on the replay, it was multiple defenders for the Utes got into the backfield. Havens with the initial hit, he'll get the credit for the sack. So talking to the Uintah coaches before the game, they're going to stay in a standard 4-3. They're going to show 5, and here they bring the blitz, and the blitz is picked up, and that's going to be a
shake and bake. He's got good for about 8 yards that time.
And you remember, and you watch this, and it's a direct option play, so it's the old wildcat, so to speak.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Nick Smith is lining up in the quarterback position.
So usually it's Ty, but that time Nick.
We've seen this from the Cougars the last few years. And again, you see Nick Smith. Winterton is the slot receiver.
Yeah.
So with 3 receivers out.
Wildcat, he's going to try it this time to the near side. He has blockers downfield.
He
Shakes the first one. He's got lots of blockers downfield.
He's got one guy to beat. He beats him.
Outruns them all. He cuts it back and in for a touchdown.
He's going to score. Wow.
Great downfield blocking by the Cougars. He had lots of blockers.
Unfortunately for the Utes, it was number 5, Dustin Brakefield, alone in the safety position. But look how many blockers are downfield for the Cougars. And they're all looking for somebody. And here's the block on Brakefield. Oh, it was Bunderson. And Brakefield had a chance on the ball.
5, 6. That's just good running, too.
Good running. He had a feel for where everyone was. And here they line up to go for 2, Brian. No, this is a kick. This is a kick formation. Excuse me. Winterton's got the T.
Winterton, the snap is down. The kick is up. Oh, and barely splits the uprights.
I think it was
near to the near side.
From my angle, Brian, it looked like he kind of squibbed it to the left, but he did get enough on it to get it up and inside that. So, wow, look at that. With 1:51 off the clock, Union already leads on their home turf 7-0, and they've said, "Here we are, Uintah. Can you hang with us?"
Well, what a big night for Nick Smith. He's a great runner, but he's at the bottom of the roster as far as stats go. We highlighted Weston Horrocks, but Nick Smith, he has 42 yards on the year, only 3 carries, but he didn't play that first game for an injury.
Yeah, so he missed the first game for an injury. And when you come back from an injury, you come in a little tentative. Well, I think the tentativeness is gone.
Yeah, I could say.
Is that a word? Tentativeness?
Tentativeness.
It was hard to say. I don't know if it's a real word or not. So not even 2 minutes off the clock, Brian, and Union showing Uintah they're going to have their A game to play with them tonight. 7-0, lining up for the kick.
Number 5. Jerry Bettis.
Squib kick. It hits a Uintah player, so it's live, and that's the right play.
We got a little bit of sprinkles on the glass here. That ball might be a little...
It might be a little slippery, but that ball was live. Dakota Havens did the right thing. He landed down on top of it. Okay, so the other tail of the tape, the other running back to watch out for, Tyson Colton, number 10 for the Uintah Utes. He's had 3 rushing TDs, 252 yards. I said 320 in the intro. But look, he's averaging a healthy almost 7 yards a carry.
Yeah.
So that ball goes up the middle, and there is no give on the front 4 for Union.
Cougars looking good this year. Their defense is stiff.
1 yard gain. 2nd and 9. Now here's an interesting twist for the Utes. We call them the 7 seconds or less Utes. That ball's set and it's snapped in a hurry. And here's a fake pass.
Oh, no.
And then he's sacked. Then he throws the ball.
They're showing that ball. Well, the flag comes in late after the play.
The flag's going to be an intentional grounding, Brian.
Nobody in that
Nobody in the vicinity, in the grasp, not outside the tackle box. And so it's going to be loss of down in addition to the penalty. The sack, in that case, would have been better.
Yeah.
And you see that we have a little switch in the quarterback play. Kendrick Kunis, and Kunis is an athlete, but Hayden Bunderson has got the start in the first 2 games. Last game he got a little bit of a hip pointer, and the coaches didn't mention that he wasn't going to play tonight. But you see there, Kunis is the quarterback. That's a switch, and they're going to miss Bunderson's speed and decision making. He did so well in the first 2 games.
Kunis in the shotgun formation. 3rd and about 20 now. Looking to the left side, quick pass out to number 10. Hit after a gain of about 5 on the play. Tyson Colton.
And that's one of those, let's just try to get some back so it's 4th down and we've got a little bit more field to work with for our kicking game. And there was no hope to pick up 27 yards on the play.
Said good job on the defense there. They shook those blocks, like I said, gave him 5, but tackled him right away.
Ball hits the turf. It's trouble for the Utes. He's got a scramble. He's going to get killed. Oh, he does get the kickoff.
Out of bounds.
Brian, he gets the kickoff and then gets tackled. I don't know what happened here, but he got maybe he fell down on his own accord. We're going to see on the L&L Motor replay, number 5 coming out on the wing, Jerry Bettis, and he kicks it, and he falls down just because of his own momentum. Yep, the way they landed.
Cheerleaders are scrambling. That ball almost nailed him right.
I don't know about you, but all the football games I watch, there's cheerleaders on the. But I don't know if they really know there's a game going on.
Not usually.
They're turning around doing their thing, and so we're lucky that we didn't have a concussion on the sideline here.
1st and 10 for the Cougars. Great field position, number 20 on the carry. Great job.
Wow, Dakota Havens comes in, and Horrocks is a beast. But Havens did what he did.
He was an outside linebacker. I thought it was defensive end.
On a called blitz, or he read the play just and timed it perfectly. I'm not sure which it was. But, yeah, he was jacked up afterwards.
Loss of about 2 now on the play for the Cougars.
And those are the plays you just got to be careful of. It could be disastrous. You're getting the ball and getting hit almost at the same time.
For 20 in motion. This time, options up the middle. Nick Smith with the keeper there. Gain of about 5.
Yeah, gets 5 back, so now 3rd and about 7. After the loss on the first down play. And you see these motion, here comes the slot receiver. In that case, it's Horrocks coming across in motion. And then you have Nick Smith with the football in his hands. It makes you play disciplined defense. You have to stay in your lanes or they're going to break the big play. So 4 receivers, Winterton back as the quarterback.
Great spin move
man.
By 20. He's still on his feet. Landed on one of the Uintah players, kept his knees off the ground.
And he's right at the first down marker. They eyeball it and then call the first down, Brian.
Weston Horrocks there.
Boy, look at the plant and then the move. He caught that ball and cut back to his right and then spun. What an incredible athletic move by Horrocks. Nice throw by Winterton as well. So on the move, the Cougars at about the 20-yard line, handoff Nick Smith. Just pummeled at the line of scrimmage. Yep, he got about 4. He got hit and fell forward.
I was just saying, Weston Horrocks, it looks like his carries leading with 38 carries and 9 yards, but he's also good with his hands. He's got 4 receptions for 10 yards, 41 yards total.
10-yard average. I mean,
he's a double threat.
Every time they throw it to him, that's a first down. So you got 2 tailbacks, 3 receivers. It's the option play up the middle, the Tui, and we've got a holding flag on the field, Brian.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage. That line judge will come in. That usually is against the offense.
Wait for the signal. The head referee, Mike Davis, is waiting to make sure he has everything right.
Well, you mentioned this L&L Motors replay. They're doing some special things here for the hometown crowds here located in Roosevelt. They're people who know, people who care. Become our fan and like us on L&L on Facebook to be entered into our drawings. Like I said, every replay tonight's game is brought to you by L&L Motors.
Well, that was an illegal. I missed the play. I think illegal formation. Cost 5 yards instead of 10 yards like the holding. So they must not have had a receiver up on the line to cover.
Winterton in the shotgun formation, looks out to his right. He has somebody open, fires it down. Great.
Wow.
Great throw there.
It's great throw. He's rolling to his right, under pressure.
Everett Millett does a good job catching as
well. Look at the bullet. I mean, he's under pressure, and that's a bullet, Brian. I mean, the defense was right there. You saw Kendrick Kunis came in and made the hit as soon as the ball arrived. If that ball floats at all, it's an incompletion.
3rd and 4 now for the Cougars on their 15-yard line. Right up the middle, Nick Smith.
Boy, it looks like he's got another first down, Brian. Well, this game is streaming live at strata.tv and will be rebroadcast on VTV Cable Channel 6 and in high definition on Cable Channel 706. And we want to thank Strata Networks for powering the live stream.
Great field position now. 1st and goal for the Cougars. In that shotgun, Nick Smith this time in the Wildcat formation.
4 receivers. He's yet to show any pass. It's designed rush the whole way. And there we come with a hold. That one is most obviously a hold. As you see one of the Uintah players go down in a fashion that's not normal. You'll see it right here on the top of your screen.
Braden Lewis.
There it is, and he goes down, blocking the back even possibly. From the spot of the foul. That's a 10-yard penalty. And that was first and goal.
Oh, it's still first and goal, but from the 20 this time.
And you see that they do it from the spot of the foul, Brian, so it's a big penalty. So, but the Cougars are showing, right now, they can basically move the ball anytime they want to.
Winterton in the shotgun. He's got Nick Smith with him. Out to Latui in the backfield. He's got 5. Oh, his foot just barely slipped. He shook 2 tackles, but his foot just slipped out of bounds.
Yeah, and right there, Braden Lewis did what he had to do for Uintah. He got him out to the sideline, even though he didn't bring him down physically. He pushed him, made him so he ran out of field position.
Just right there. He tries to high step it and wasn't able to keep him in.
Just trying to shed that with a guy on your hips. So at the 13-yard line, handoff goes. Nick Smith. He's got a couple guys. He steps inside of him, and he's got a touchdown. He is an absolute load. I want you to watch the replay here. And, I mean, there was 2 guys coming in for Uintah right
There's one.
There, and he cuts 2. Inside of them, and they both miss. And Brian, Dakota Havens is not a guy easily fooled, but Nick Smith broke his ankles, put him on the ground. So 13-0, lining up for the extra kick. It's high, and it is good. 14-0, 5:36 left here in the period.
They have a bet on how many tackles Nick Smith can shake before the end of the game.
Wow,
I think we're up to like 15 already.
Whatever the injury was, I think Matt Labram says, hey, why don't you do that before the beginning of every season? We need you, buddy, and he's doing it. So here's the coaches. They're just saying, get into it, get into it.
Travis trying to get those guys pumped up. Get Uintah to come back.
Tonight's game is brought to us by the Advisor Group. Financial planning, benefit packages, insurance, or retirement plans. We have a specialized team to help meet your needs. We are the firm of firms, the Advisor Group.
5:36 left in this first quarter. Uintah coming out a little flat-footed. And Union's capitalizing on it.
You have the consecutive fumbles. You think, oh, here's a big break for Uintah. Union comes back, grabs it, marches down, scores 7, and then they do it again. They get the ball back after the punt, and the punt was muffed. The snap 5 yards short of the kicker. He's lucky to get anything positive out of that at all. Bettis running for his life. And the Cougars doing it in all 3 phases right now, special teams, offense, and defense.
It's tough on that defense. When you work so hard and you cause a fumble, and then it's kind of demoralizing just to get it back right away. You think, oh, I get a break, and then right away you're back on defense.
Yeah. That ball sliding all over the ground. Bettis with the ball. He gets back to the 26-yard line and then gang tackled.
1st and 10 from the 20 for the Utes. We mentioned Strata Network bringing you tonight's game streaming live, but they're putting this all together. It's proud to partner with VTV in providing tonight's game. It's a leading telecommunication partner in Uintah Basin, providing advanced wireless, broadband, and video services.
Ball's up in the air, Brian, and it's just, I don't know if it slipped out of his hands or if it was tipped. But it was a duck, and it was 10 yards behind the receivers, and you had a double fly pattern going on the sidelines. So the safety has to make a decision who to go with, and the safety is late coming over, but that ball just came out of his hands.
Yeah, like I said, it might be a little slippery out there.
Well, we've had
grass holds on to that moisture.
Interesting weather all year.
No, cuts it back, but he just got too many people out there to tackle him.
You can't even assign a number to who got there because there was 4 of them on the tackle. And Jury Bettis
is having a night.
He comes around the corner, and he's met with a sea of black. Yeah, it was number 55 for Union. Carson Lamb was the first one there. Carson, a senior. And he's coming in from that linebacker position. And,
3rd and 12 now.
He's on the nose tackle. Got all the way out there. Now we have a false start on Uintah. Well, we came to the Ogden game. We watched the Ogden game earlier, and you see here on that, and there's the false start. Flag comes in and whistles the ball dead. And Uintah, in years past has done okay in the first half, third period okay, and then they fall apart in the fourth period. The first game, they had a terrible, every break that could go wrong did in the first period, and then they put together a solid game after. So we know the Utes gain momentum as the game goes along, but they've got to do something positive here after getting down in an early hole 4-0.
Hayden Bunderson, look at number 43.
Oh, he breaks a tackle, he's still going. Look at that, gets up to
with a face mask maybe to rip that thing off. And watch this, the whole rest of the team went off to the left. 43 out by himself. And he's gone off the races. He hasn't even touched till 10 yards. He shakes that first one, and Latui kind of comes in, and helmet popped off there by number 13.
Yeah, Maria comes in and just gets the chin snap.
Right up the middle there.
Well, now here we go. Hayden Bunderson back into the quarterback position. So we've seen now two quarterbacks, Kendrick Kunis, and maybe that's why the Uintah staff didn't say anything. They're maybe planning on bringing Bunderson in, change of pace, and he doesn't look any worse for the wear there, Brian. Keeps it on himself.
Dude, again, he's almost just a yard or two short of the first down.
And this is where Bunderson's decision-making makes a difference. Watch how he reads the eyes, and right there it's the right decisions, the options to go to the running back to the outside. The end attacks the running back. He keeps it and goes for positive yards. And it's so important on that quarterback to read the eyes of the defender.
Big third down, and he is stuffed right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Brian, is this 4-down territory? You're down by 14 already. You're 4th and 5, so it's a manageable pickup.
I think they're bringing in the punting team.
And you see the change of sides. Yep, not even worth speculating on.
That defensive penetration there. That line puts them back on their heels, and it's hard to read a hole when
there is no hole.
There is no hole.
You see how hard Carson Lamb hit him, too? I mean, that was...
Oh, kind of short again. Gets it off, but just barely clears the line.
And Union may be fortunate that ball didn't take a bad bounce and hit Everett Miller on the fly, because that ball maybe got 6 inches over the top of the line.
Said he's either got to scoot up or that center's got to hike it harder, because he is just not getting it to him. So
some exchange problems on the special teams. It's a net result, Brian, of about 23 yards on the punt.
1st and 10 on the 36-yard line for the Cougs. Winterton in the shotgun formation. Get Nick Smith. He's going to option to Nick. Flies it out. Oh, almost connected with number 20.
Yeah,
Horrocks is wanting that call.
He's not going to get that call, but you can't blame him for trying. You watch this, looking downfield all the way. The ball's floated out over. Good touch. Just about a half yard too long. Horrocks gets a hand on it, but doesn't come down with the ball.
You know, that sky cam tonight, brought to us by Select Rounds. We got Devin up there. We might have to bring him down. They're starting to get some lightning out here. We don't want him to become a human lightning rod.
You know, his hair already stands on end, so.
He doesn't need any help. Oh, my goodness, that was a bullet. Shot. Latui almost brought it down.
Latui almost got it, but Jury Bettis right on top of him. Hits him right when the ball, maybe even a half second early, Brian. Hits him right when the ball gets there. You'll see on the L&L replay. There it is, and it's just about perfect timing for the defensive back, Jury Bettis. Actually, he's playing in the safety position, and
Devin up there. We should put a lightning rod on his backside.
Yeah, you see him in the Select Reynolds Sky Cam. Thanks for the boys at Select Reynolds bringing that down. If you need anything for your equipment needs, talk to those guys down there.
Winterton goes. Oh, Latui wasn't able to bring it down. They're just trying to get everybody to focus on Nick Smith, but he optioned out to Latui. And just that bullet was coming in too hot. Look at him, just hit him right in the hands and wasn't able to hold on. So a 4th down, something we haven't seen yet for the Cougars. They're going to decide whether to punt it away. It looks like they're going to go for it. 4th and 10. It would be great field position if the Utes could hold right here.
4th and 10. They're going to go in that three receiver, 2, kind of in a It's designed running play to Nick Smith. He gets around the edge.
Oh, great
Oh,
block.
now it's a foot race, and nobody's catching Nick
no,
Smith.
88's coming in hot.
Nobody's going to catch him. That's a touchdown. You're right. 88 made a valiant effort.
That wouldn't have happened without that first block. We'll have to watch that on the replay. Somebody just got depleted. Is it Latui that comes back?
Goodness.
Yeah, Latui just waits. Boom!
Boom! And that's the big-time block from Latui. And then it's a foot race, and nobody catches Nick Smith, although Talon Strong tried to get there. He didn't quite have the right angle. And look at that, Brian, 20-0. Who saw that coming?
Hometown crowd's excited, that's for sure. Winterton, the snap is down and up. Once again, good. 21-0.
Nothing. Unbelievable. 2:43. You look at the Cougar crazies, and it's a packed house tonight here in Roseville, here at the Union High School Stadium. Want to thank Ashley Regional for bringing us tonight's game. Ashley Regional, where you can receive quality orthopedic services. Here on the L&L Motor replay, boom! That's the block of the night. Nick Smith ought to go find Latui and give him that football and say, that's yours.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of it, but you can go on www.ashleyregional.com. You can get healthy recipes, information about maybe the medication you've been taking if you have questions. You can look up diseases and find out symptoms if you want to do some self-treatment at home. They can... you can self-diagnose yourself, I guess.
Well, my favorite part there on AshleyRegional.com, you can watch videos of surgical procedures, Brian.
Ooh.
Now, I'm telling you, there's some cool things out there. You know, you watch from those knee cams, they're scoping a knee. That's some incredible
that knee replacement stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Enough to give you the heebie-jeebies. But again, back to kick Winterton. This time, kicks it a little bit deeper, fielded about the 5-yard line.
By number 5, blows past the first line. Oh, and you think once you get past that first line of defenders, you think, maybe I got a chance. Then
Usually it is.
Gets a shoelace tackle at the 30-yard line. Wow, going for it on 4th down.
About 2:30 left in the first quarter.
For a big-time play to Nick Smith. And you think about it, they were basically in the same field position that Uintah passed on a 4th and 5 on their own. Little fake.
Fakes the dive.
Oh, and he gets a beautiful touch. He slips down.
Loses his footing there.
Unbelievable. You'll tell you what.
43 there, Lofthouse.
Yeah, Trevor Lofthouse, and he's a tank. He's 5 foot.
Look at him. I think he brought it down with one hand, did he? Oh,
catches it nicely. Beautiful touch. Makes the cutback. And did you see what was going on right there? Cade Boren was setting a perfect bluff. He could have got back in on side of that. He might not have had the speed of.
Great play calling there. Like you said, they showed the dive, which they've tried 3 or 4 times this first half, and then just popped back and over their heads he went.
This is just a no-nonsense, straight up the middle. They hand the ball off to Tyson Colton. And he's had a quiet night to this point, but he's going to get going.
2nd and 7. He's got to get north and south.
He's got the edge, and it's looking good. He cuts back in, and then we got a flag. Is that going to be a little bit of a face mask, maybe, potentially? We're going to wait for the call.
It was right at the time of the tackle. Coming towards you. Right, I don't know. It's still hard to say because there's so many Cougars there. Still didn't catch what that was.
Here comes another angle from the
sky cam.
So coming around the corner, and you know Colton, once he gets that corner and gets going north and south, it's trouble. And here comes, it's going to be maybe a block in the back on number 88, and it is a block in the back. Oh, Brian, wow, that's just a stomach punch. So back the ball comes after what initially would have been a first down. Now it's 2nd and about 7 yards.
We'll have to hope for better things in this second quarter because, like you said, they've had nothing go their way in the first.
A keeper there, and look at the defense for the Cougars. They're doing everything right. Wait there, Bunderson tries to make the read. And like you say, that's disciplined lane defense. Every one of the guys is staying in their lane, so there's not really an opening for them to choose from. Tries to make the best decision he can, but runs into a brick wall.
Number 88 with the catch. Has some blocking. Great.
Wow.
Ooh, that free safety flew in like
Did
a
you see who it
firecracker,
was?
man. Number
Weston
4.
Horrocks coming in.
I think he's got one gear, and it's wide open.
Yeah, and you see there just a little bit of a dead leg to Talon Strong.
Ooh, boom. He may be half his size, but he's going to give it everything he's got.
4th and 1, and they're bringing in the punt team.
Maybe it's a fake, because they're in pretty good field position. Like you said, it's only a minute left.
Yeah, watch for the fake, because Kendrick Kunis is the short back, the blocker that's supposed to catch anyone that comes through, and that could be a direct snap. But why get cute when you just need a yard and you're down by 21 points?
Just lean into the center and get the yard.
It is a design run, but again, why get cute, Brian? That ball goes up. He decides to kick it.
Almost fielded by number 9, or then decides to get out of the way. Like you said, I would have just leaned into the center and got the yard that you needed, but that's neither here nor there. So they punt it away. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars now.
Not a whole lot of people on the black side expected anything but that.
Yeah.
And then the ball takes a bad bounce and rolls to the 24-yard line, or the 29-yard line. So the Cougars just counting their lucky stars, and here we go. And right now, the Uintah defense has shown nothing, an ability to stop these guys.
Winterton in the shotgun. Latui goes in motion. He's going to give it to Nick Smith. Around the outside. Great block again.
My!
A number 10 that time.
Number 10. Oh, this Everett Miller you're going to see on the L&L Motor replay. And Dakota Havens meet the turf.
Have some face.
Unbelievable block. For one of maybe the most exciting plays of the night, it only ended up being a 2-yard gain.
Yeah. That's going to wrap up the first quarter. We'd like to also thank Moon Lake Electric. They've been out in operation since 1939. They're owned by the people they serve. Moon Lake is a cooperative and is not privately owned.
Well, we're going to take a break here. A word from our sponsors. We'll be back. The Cougars on their home turf lead the Utes 21-0.
Tired of fast food insurance plans? At the Advisor Group, we specialize in financial planning, retirement, life, health benefits, home, auto, and commercial insurance. We are your one-stop firm that delivers the solution for your personal and professional needs. The Advisor Group. Service you will recognize.
Are you a busy mom like me with so little time, juggling so many different things that getting your oil changed is the last thing on your mind? You won't believe this. Head to L&L Express Lane. You don't need an appointment. There's a place for your kids to play, and you can use an iPad with Wi-Fi while you wait. And here's the best part. It's all done under 30 minutes or less. Come and see us at L&L's Express Lane. People you know. People who care.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to VTV High School football action. Here at Union High, we've switched positions now. Put 12 minutes on the clock.
Second period, the wind is blowing. There's rainbows out over the field. There's rain all around. There's been some sprinkling rain here. Nothing serious. Just enough to make the top of the turf slick, though. Winterton in the shotgun formation has 2 receivers to the right. That's an option play up the middle. And it's a first down for the Cougars. And here at the Cougar Stadium, we love to hear it's another Cougars. First down, and they got the cat roaring.
Rawr.
And there they go, moving the chains. Tonight's game brought to us by Pilot Logistics. Western Petroleum may have a new name, but they're still the same great company you can rely on. Pilot Logistics helping us bring the action to you here tonight.
Winterton out to Latui. Shakes the first one. Oh, but brought down hard by number 31. Talking some smack.
Ball squirts out. Yeah, Havens has a little bit
pent up anger, would you say?
He got lit up a few minutes ago, and he's going for some retribution.
Chicka, chicka, chicka,
and right there, he lays it down. You got to know how to take a hit to give one, though. And Havens, he bounced up off of that crackback block, and now he's giving it back. So here's another quick out.
He's going to do it again. Woo.
Jury Bettis comes in.
Put his head down. He's got to be careful there.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of talk on the field, and that is actually, and there's the flag.
I thought they were complimenting each other, but
it's going to be unsportsmanlike. And look at Matt Labrum.
I think they might offset each other. Because it looks
Matt Labrum just earned himself a penalty. More flags thrown on the field. Matt Labrum's still upset. And he may be upset about the blow to the head, helmet-to-helmet contact.
Well, it looks like he took it in the chest. I don't know if we show that
Maybe
again.
Let's see if we can bring it up while the referees.
It looked like Latui put his head down and he kind of took it in the chest.
Watch it here on the replay. Out to Latui.
Dangerous. Oh, it is kind of face mask there.
And then Matt Labrum lost his collective cool, and they're offsetting penalties. And so that's just going to reset the down at third down. And they're going to play it again. I thought that they had called Matt for an additional unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, it looks like there's 3 flags out there, but maybe
because they picked him up and threw him again after he came out to about the numbers on the field. But the net result of that was third down replayed here. And now it looks like a running play. It is.
Nick Smith out the left side. He's got blockers. Wasn't able to shake that one, though. Again, a flag coming in. It might be a face mask.
It might be. You see number 88 comes up on the replay. He's the one that makes the tackle, I believe. He comes up, and it might be that he got the helmet and dragged him down.
Say, it looked like he got a face
And indeed,
mask.
Here comes a 15-yard mark-off. No, just 5 yards. Just
first
5 yards, but it's enough for a first down. And I should have watched the referees to see what the call was. Missed it.
Unintentional. They got a first down right about midfield, 46-yard line. Now,
and here comes
the side of Uintah.
Cougars in their own version of the hurry up. They're on top of the ball right when it's set. Winterton looks and sees what he has. 2 receivers on the right side, and a single slot receiver on the outside.
Gives it up the middle to Horrocks.
No tricks, 3 yards. Well, tonight's game is brought to us by L&L Motor. Become a fan and like L&L on Facebook to be entered into their drawings. L&L Motor bringing us tonight's game and all the replays. You see the replay right there. Well, a little quieter second period to this point. 21 points.
Yeah, no big plays. They kind of keyed. Seems like both teams are keyed on each other. So it's turning into more of a grind match here. Oh, great job. Great hands. Is that Latui again? No, it's number 40.
48 for the Cougars. That's number 48, Paul Kafusi.
Watch these hands, man. He had
the
3
Kafusi
defenders.
brothers are our favorite. Here comes the rollout, and look at his hands.
Great job. Great concentration to hold on to that ball.
Well, you see there that Caden Henderson, number 34, had his hand on the ball when it got there. And that's just strength on the part of Kafusi to haul that in and gets him close, so it's 3rd and short now, and you've got this.
Winterton in the back with some help. He's going to fake it out to the right side bootleg, and he's driven out of bounds.
Just enough.
Number 3 there with the tackle, Caden Kunis.
Well, in that case, that's a difficult play for the Utes to defend. Excellent play call by the Cougars. You have the quarterback flanked by 2 running backs, and then you have a tailback, and it could go anywhere. It could be a quick handoff, right, left. It could go back to Horrocks.
So many different options in that formation.
And in that case, you don't expect Winterton to do the quarterback keeper on a rolled out to the right, but a beautiful play call. Too much to pay attention to for the Utes. Cougars generate another first down. Little confusion here for the Cougars. They may have to do a timeout. You see coming onto the field late, Maria.
Yeah.
And there's the delay.
There it is.
Oh, no, they call a timeout before the delay. So it's a timeout charge to the Cougars, and it was Maria coming in late. He was supposed to be that outside receiver. Well, tonight's game is brought to us by Strata Networks. Strata Networks is proud to partner with VTV to provide live coverage of high school sports. I want to remind you that the live stream of tonight's game can be found at strata.tv, powered by Strata Networks.
It's kind of, I think the rain's coming in. It's kind of circled around, done a wormhole. Well, you see, tonight's game, we've got some great ones on the list here. Park City at Union.
That's next week.
Next week. Then we're going to try Park City at Uintah. Have to beat up Park City on 2 nights there.
Yeah,
Monticello, Altamont.
You have Carbon coming up to Union, and Carbon's looking strong. They're 3-0. They got to play Duchesne, and nobody in the basement was happy to see Carbon win that game, but that's a tough team. A lot of these 3A teams that have been kind of down for a few years.
Rocked right when he hit it. The ball almost intercepted. And again, there's a late flag coming in. One of the line judges throwing the flag there on the far side.
And where that's kind of
rocked
at the,
right there. I don't know if there's going to be some contact early.
Yeah, that's
it's against the offense.
Waiting for the call from the head referee. Five yards. Repeat, first down, 1st and 15. I never did see what the call was. Did you see it,
I just
Brian?
saw that it was against the offense. I just saw the tail end of it. But yeah, again, good for 5 yards. 1st and 15 now on the 40-yard line. Hikes at Winterton, looking to his right.
Oh.
Back to its left. Gets it to Kafusi, or Latui. He's off to the races. Almost.
Oh, spins out of the tackle.
Oh, my goodness.
He's got one beat. No. Brought down.
Again,
and then we got another flag.
It was away from the tackle.
Caden Henderson saves the touchdown. Flag on the field. Is this going to be another unsportsmanlike?
Yeah, it was. If you look on the left side of your screen, you might pick it up. It was some unsportsmanlike conduct away from the tackle. Right there, you just see it on the left side.
Well, look at the coaches for Union. They are fired up. So we see the flag is on the field.
So that'll bring it right to the goal line. Half the distance to the goal.
They mark it at the 4. It's going to go against Uintah. And, Brian, the Union offense at this point is pretty much a guaranteed 2 yards. I don't think there's a lot to say about this.
I think they'll give it to Nick again. That'll be his 3rd touchdown on the night.
Nick Smith, injured in the first 2 games, had a slow start to the season, 43 yards. He's making up for it in a hurry with his performance tonight. They come out and they have the 2 wing backs, but they're both blockers. And then they have the tailback, and it's going to go to the tailback, Nick Smith.
His knee came down. It looked like his knee came down. Oh, they're going to call it good.
The touchdown.
I think the ball was across the line when his knee hit, but it did come down just prior. Let's see if we can get a good angle here. His knee is down right there, but the ball had already crossed the plane.
Very close, but the referee on the line calls it a touchdown, and the Cougars are rolling tonight, 27-0.
27 on their way to a big goose egg.
Yeah, they're holding Uintah scoreless in the first period, and we continue to see the clouds roll around and threatening heavy rain, but it hasn't hit the field yet.
Looks like it's up.
Kick is up and good. Tonight's game brought to us by the Advisor Group Financial Planning Benefit Packages, Insurance or Retirement Plans. We have a specialized team to help meet your needs. We are the firm of firms, the Advisor Group, here on the replay. And you could tell that was going to be a design run to Nick Smith. The reason I say that is they had 2 essentially what are linebackers back for blocking. They're not going to hand it to the big guys. They're going to hand it to their skill players. And Nick Smith thanks them for the blocks. Gets the 2 yards.
The rain's starting to fall now out there on the field. It'd be a long, cold night for the Utes if they don't turn things around here in the second quarter.
Well, you talk about for years and years. So at the beginning of the game, we talked about this, Brian. 50 years since both teams came to this game unbeaten. Now, it's interesting. In that game, Union came into the game 3-0-2, 2 ties.
Oh.
60 years ago is the last time that they were both unbeaten with no losses. So
has it ever happened this early in the season, or is it always later?
I don't have that stat. Looked all that up on Deseret News. You can find some crazy things. I don't know who has the time to look these things up, but we have an offsides on the kicking team. Just a rare mistake. You don't see that very often on a kicking team. And for the Cougars, one of the few mistakes they've made all night.
Yeah. They've had a very clean night, except for these few unsportsmanlike conducts, but I guess we can credit those to the coach, not the players, huh?
Well, the unsportsmanlike, you know, anytime these two teams play, you'll remember we came here 4 years ago, and both teams were 0-9. But what did they do? They both wanted to destroy the other team.
Yeah,
the record didn't matter.
Both teams wanted to win.
Yeah, they just want to beat each other badly, and I think that's the emotion spilling over more than anything, just because they really get pumped up for this game.
Winterton sends it deep, filled it about the 18-yard line.
It's probably one of the best kicks he's had all night. Makes
Tyson Colton, and finally brought down.
You can see that the rain's affecting the grip on the turf, but Tyson Colton gets the corner and gets a nice return.
Almost to midfield there.
Yeah, we're at the 37-yard line for the Utes, and that's decent field position for what they've had tonight to work with. Looks like maybe they put it on the 36-yard line, excuse me. About between the two. So
Bunderson in the shotgun formation. Number 5 in motion. He's going to option out to the left side. Just underthrows him.
Yeah,
just short.
It might be a grip problem because you can see that he had an open receiver out on the
Lofthouse.
And you see on the replay, he comes in, spins out. There's Lofthouse is open, and he almost looks like he tries to point the ball instead of throw it.
Yeah, like you said, that ball is getting slippery. Bunderson again.
Oh, and he gives it to Bettis, and
read
Bettis,
like a book by number 54 there.
And I don't know what the dance was from Jordan Gurr, but when you tackle a guy for a 10-yard loss, you pretty much have free license to do whatever you want.
Come up with something on the spot.
And here he comes, and Jordan Gurr gets the little guy down to the turf, and then he sits down and does his dance.
I think we're going to have a timeout.
We have a
shoelace problem on the far side of the field.
This is a shoelace. And here comes a fresh, dry ball onto the field. And there goes the wet, slippery ball. And now that we have everything back in order on the shoes.
Right at 8 minutes left in this first half. Bunderson.
Design play. Bunderson throws it to Bettis.
Almost intercepted there.
And Bettis becomes a defensive back in that position and bats the ball down.
Number 7 that time, Zach Roll. Good job in defensive play. Bats the ball away. You don't have to have good hands on defense. You just got to knock it down so they can't have good hands. He tries to come up, almost catches it.
Yeah, and you see what happened there. They're kind of playing a zone coverage. Rolls out on the far edge, and his receiver cuts short, and so he breaks out to the deep receiver.
This time gets the ball away, but it slipped. They have not had good luck whatsoever on this punting team.
And the Cougar Stadium goes bananas. It's all going in the Cougars' direction. And for the third time tonight, we had a miscommunication.
He just slipped. He tried to catch the ball, and the ball was too slippery. He couldn't handle it.
And
maybe better if he just took it a direct snap under center.
When you're down 28-0, you're on the road, and nothing's going your way. 4 down territory.
And it's raining.
Scrap the punting game. Right now it's a loss. Let's try to come out here with some pride, maybe get it back and close in the fourth period. But the Cougars rolling. And here we go. We've got Winterton.
Position.
He's got Weston Horrocks as the deep tailback. He's going to throw quick outside.
Latui, he's got the corner, he's got the speed, but 88 drags him down that time. Woo-wee.
And here's the rain. It's swirling all over.
Strong.
The wind was coming from the north, then it was coming from the south. Now it's coming from the east. It is swirling out there. Wow, and that was a nice
job. 2nd and 5. 14-yard line for the Cougars. Threatening to score yet again. We got 7:15 left in the second quarter. Here at Union, he's going to out to Nick Smith, the right side. He's got great downfield blocking, cuts it up. That helmet popped off again.
Oh, you see number 10. You always hate to see that. Everett Miller got rolled up from behind, and he's going to come off hobbling. You know, when you're a blocker, and you see it right here in the replay, he's blocking and then watch people roll up on his legs. Oh, I hate to see that. That's going to just – his ankle's going to be sore for a while. Oh, you hate to see that. And he's off. Trainer's
got that
looking
knee
at him.
brace already on, so that when you injure yourself already with a brace on, you know it's bad.
And they're looking.
First and goal now on the 9-yard lines for the Cougars. Kind of a rough snap. He's
he's got
20.
the edge.
Oh, great job by number 34 coming in hot.
Add insult to injury, Brian. Tackle for a loss, but it looks like a holding 10-yard penalty.
Henderson comes in great and saves the touchdown.
Yeah, Henderson, if he gets beat, of course, the flag would have nullified it, but if he gets beat, that's a touchdown. Good open field tackle. 10-yard penalty.
They're going to march it back. Holding on the far hash mark. It's about 18 yards now, first and goal.
Well, they huddle up. We want to thank Ashley Regional for bringing us tonight's game. Ashley Regional now has neurology services in Vernal. Dr. Thomas Buchanan, board-certified neurologist, will be seeing patients in Vernal and Roseville. Call 789-1820 for appointments. Ashley Regional, proud sponsor of tonight's football action.
First and 10, looking to pass. That ball is slippery. Oh, and almost brought down by number 20 that time for the Cougars. Weston Horrocks.
You see on the replay here that he's rolling to his right. He got big-time pressure. Had to step up and throw a little before he would have liked to.
He would have been my hero if he would have caught that. He slid like 20 yards on his face.
Well, the conditions are tough, but you remember the games that are like this. You remember it's raining, especially you're playing your rival. You're up 28-0, and you give it a little bit extra effort on every play, just like that.
He has the option out to the left side, decides to Winterton right up the middle. Ooh, rocked.
He took a shot.
The 58
coming in hard, 58. That's Braden Jensen, 200-pound defensive lineman, senior for Uintah.
Just about up to the original line of scrimmage now. Boom, man, that bell is still ringing. Third and goal. Looks like they're spotting it at about the 15-yard line.
So they go to the Winterton on the far side as a receiver. You've got Nick Smith.
Oh, that ball slipped out.
And he does the smart thing.
Well, we haven't seen their leg yet. Do you think he can kick it from, what are we at, the 20? So about a 38-yard field goal? They're going to try it, it looks like.
7, it's going to be a 45-yard field goal, Brian. You got the depth of the end zone plus
10.
Plus the 7-yard deep on the kick.
Yeah, so they're going to spot it about the 30.
Is that a 43-yard field goal? He's got the leg for it. Now it's just with the wind. Is it going to cooperate? He gets the ball down.
Up.
Look at that, and he's got it deep enough, but it's too wide.
To the right.
Yep.
He had the distance, like I said, just not quite enough.
So 5:03 left here in the period. Tonight's game brought to us by Moon Lake Electric, in operation since 1938, providing power to the area since 1938. I want to thank Moon Lake Electric for helping VTV Channel 6 bring you tonight's game. And Brian, we didn't expect a blowout.
No. With these two teams coming in undefeated in tonight's game, rivals, we expected some smash mouth running game, and Union's jumped out with their passing is where they've done the most damage.
And you see there, Bunderson rolls out to his right, fakes the handoff to Bettis, and then just meets a wall of black and slips down to the turf. It just hasn't gone. Now, looking at it this way, Union scored 28 in the first half. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
They could make some adjustments at halftime. You got to play the full game.
There's still lots of game left.
Look at that. He gets out to the edge, makes a couple of good moves, and works his way almost to the first down marker. I didn't see the number on the carrier.
10 there.
Was it number 10? That's it's Tyson Colton, the workhorse for Union to this point, having monster games.
This rain makes the ball slippery, but it also makes Colton slippery. Nobody could grab a hold of that guy. He was squirting everywhere.
And, it's always easier as the ball carrier because you know what you're going to do, so you can plan and make those preparations. But the defensive player is trying to react after he's made those cuts, and then slippery field doesn't help.
We'll take a timeout here as they try to regroup right before the second half. 4:15 left in this half. We'll step away. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Western Petroleum may have changed their name to Pilot Logistics, but the employees that you have always counted on locally are still the ones here now. Pilot Logistics continues to provide the Uintah Basin with cardlock services, bulk fuels, lubes, and oils, just as they did when they were Western Petroleum. Call 789-1832 for information about the services offered by Pilot Logistics. Western Petroleum would like to thank all of their valued customers for the many years of providing services here in the Uintah Basin and look forward to serving you in the future as Pilot Logistics.
Well, we're back and lining up. The Utes, looks like he's trying a hard count to get somebody to jump. Looks over to the sideline, see what's going on. They've got 5 down linemen.
Anderson stuffed right up the middle. That defensive penetration is just too much for the Utes tonight. They didn't even have a chance to look at where the hole was going to be.
Look at the replay, and we come right to back. But number 62 blows through the line. Calvin Edrington, the senior.
It's almost a miscommunication there at the line of scrimmage.
Colton had no chance, but they're down with 5 down linemen.
Yeah.
You know, they're covering every hole.
Yeah, hard to pick them all up. Looks like they're going to call another timeout, burn them all up before the end of the second. Oh, no. We talk about Moon Lake Electric, but the electricity just went to the board. The scoreboard just went out. Perhaps the water got to it. Well, we just saw a commercial for Pilot Logistics. We'd like to thank them again for, they may have a new name, but they're still the same great company. You can find services all over the Uintah Basin for Pilot Logistics. I think we have a halftime show coming up, too, from L&L Motor, if I understand right.
Well, you have the halftime show, and it'll be kind of fun. Of course, we'll see probably performances. Not positive, but usually they have the dancers come out, the drill team. But there's a $10,000 kick on the field.
That's what everybody's going to be watching.
Yeah, interesting to see what happens. Now, you know, a 40-yard field goal is that Ty Winterton just tried to show us.
Yeah.
Is no gimme.
No, you're going to earn every $10,000 that you're going to try for there.
You ever notice in these competitions, though, they always bring out the it looks like the least athletic people they possibly could have found.
They make 2 pots, one for the athletic people and one for the not so. Yeah, the lady, you know, the dancing's just garnish, you know. The meat and potatoes is the kick. That's what everybody's come to tonight's game. See if somebody can go away with 10 grand in their pocket and become an instant friend and celebrity to everybody around them.
There's the Cougar Crazies. A minute ago we had Coach Harding for Union on the sideline. You remember 4 years ago, Harding was in charge of the Ute program, and afterwards, after he left the Utes, came over here and has done great things with Union and their line and blocking schemes.
For the first time, got a great snap and kick away for Uintah.
And just a neutral sidewards bounce, picked up by number 7, Ryan Case.
3:54 left in this first half, as Union now takes over.
You see the block on the Cougar rusher. Got upended and over, landed on his back after he did a front flip. So, again, field position, you talk about it all night, Brian. Look where the Cougars are starting with the ball. I mean, here they are on the 47-yard line after the best punt the Utes have had all night.
This guy kind of looked like Brian Baldwin.
The referee.
The referee there.
When we know Brian Baldwin's not out there, he's calling the game tonight with. He's calling the game with KLCY tonight, live on the radio. But you're right, he does look a little bit like him. So we got the guys with the stripes and the glasses.
Yeah, some of the guys from the booth might look a little bit like that. They're moonlighting as referees.
Taking off their black and yellow and getting down on the field.
Yeah. I think they finally got things wrapped up. They're going to spot this ball. 3:54 left on the clock. 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Their own 47-yard line.
Yeah, we checked. We're here in the booth.
Winterton looking to pass. Gathers the ball. Hit. Oh, and the ball. Nick Smith tries to whip out there and catch it.
Yeah,
but he wasn't quite ready for it. It was almost, he was looking to where he was running. The ball was there before he knew. He tried to throw his hands up.
You'll see why right here.
The ball's hit. Oh.
Winterton had to throw it early. He was waiting for that play to develop, but then saw the rush coming and knew he had to get rid of it. and the routes hadn't fully developed when he released the ball. And Bettis also almost had a chance on the ball. So probably fortunate that ball hit the turf after all that went wrong on the play. 2nd and 10 from the 47-yard line.
He's going to keep it. Winterton up the middle. Hit after a gain of about 2 on the play. I think Lofthouse was one of many of the Utes in for the tackle. Just trying to run the clock out now.
Yeah, I think they'll be tickled to go to the halftime with 28-0. But with 3:28 left in the period, there's still some things that get to happen, and you know the Utes would like to do something positive before the half ends. So in their base 4-3 defense,
Nick Smith is near side.
Makes a cut.
Great job.
And then gets hit by Havens.
They got a Ute shooken up on the play at the line of scrimmage, holding his knee. I think we're going to have a timeout here. We'll go ahead and take a timeout where they address this injured player. We'll be right back after these messages.
What do you expect from your health care? A physician you can trust. An up-to-date facility with a friendly staff. Compassionate nurses. Healthcare professionals who will do their very best every day to keep you and your family healthy. At Ashley Regional Medical Center, this is our mission because this is our community and our hospital.
Moon Lake Electric has been a staple in the basin for 75 years. And though many things have changed through the years, one thing stays the same: our dedication to keeping the power on and our priority of doing that safely. We now have a Facebook page, which can be accessed through our website, allowing you to receive energy tips, outage reports, personnel changes, and feedback. Moon Lake Electric thanks its members and employees for 75 years of keeping the power on.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to high school football action here on VTV Channel 6. I'm Brian Nielsen alongside Mark Mason. We are at Union High. We had an injured player on the field, Tragan Daniels.
It was Tragan Daniels, number 55, Brian. He did walk off under his own power, which you always like to see.
Good sign.
Nice sign of respect from the crowd as they cheered him off the field.
Oh, that ball is not brought in, but it did have a forward moment. Forward pass, though. It won't be a
extracurricular wrestling afterwards. So, yeah, it is a forward pass, clearly.
That ball's just slippery.
Slippery, and it's the old mistake of looking upfield before you got the ball secured. So, and here comes the wrestling.
With it a little bit.
Yeah. Why not? Weston Horrocks, one of the few things he hasn't done brilliantly tonight.
His wrestle?
The wrestle, but he comes off a little bit gimpy. But they got enough horses in the backfield that...
trips out to the far side, single here. Winterton in the shotgun. He's going to fake up to Nick Smith. He keeps it up the middle. Man, he's running over the back of his own blockers there. He's going to find his blockers aren't going to be so apt to block when he keeps doing that.
Yeah, you see number 54, Jordan Gurr, just to run up the backside. You know, Winterton lays a shoulder pad down, and what he puts it into was the back of Jordan Gurr.
But it's good enough for a gain of about 6. So they'll have a 3rd and 4 here. 2:30 left in this quarter. Latui in motion. They got a man, number 54.
Yeah, and that's Gurr that just Jordan Gurr comes up. He's the only one that thought it was on 1. Everyone else knew it was on 2. So he does a little stutter to get ready, and you could tell that was a pass the way he was coming back to. Would have been a pass play. Probably a quick swing out to that left side.
Pass protection there. So they'll replay the down back at the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10. 42-yard line.
Same formation, same motion.
Try this again.
And here comes
looking
that
to pass. Latui's open, but he's going to look down the middle.
Oh, he gets the first down on a beautiful strike to number 13, Henrique Moria. Enrique.
Yeah, like I said, he's been keying on Latui, and so did the defense.
And did you see Maria played it really beautifully? He had number 88.
But there's a flag on the play. We've been too busy watching this L&L replay.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, okay, so there's a 5-yard penalty, does it look like? No, they're going to take 10 yards off. Must have been. a holding, or was it even 15 yards?
The block in the back.
15-yard penalty. Wow. Maria did a beautiful. What I was going to say is he sat down right in this little hole in the defense, and instead of continuing his route, just turned and pinned. You know, just stayed right there, and then a strike from Winterton. But wow, that's a big one.
Yeah, 3rd and 20. Definitely going to go in that pass position there. Winterton looking. He hands it up to Nick. No, that wasn't Nick. Was it Nick?
That was number 23, Nick Smith.
Yeah, Nick. I was going to say my window's getting a little streaked with rain. I'm going to have to.
Let's see if anyone's got a squeegee out there.
Let's trust this great picture brought to you by VTV here, and it's high definition. I don't know why I'm not using it anyways.
Yeah, timeout to Uintah. I believe that's their last timeout for the period. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. We'll be back right after the timeout. Well, we're back after the timeout. The Cougars go into a punt formation,
away.
And then it's just a little.
What a great roll.
It is
They've
a
had
great
everything
roll.
go their way this first half.
In a first half that's gone the Cougars' direction in every possible way. A little squib punt of all things that takes an incredible roll down at the 9-yard line, puts the Utes in a big hole, and they almost, put that that snap over his head. Catches it in the air and then just gets a beautiful roll.
Yeah. Right at the 2-minute mark here. The Utes will take over on about the 9-yard line. Trying to get around the outside. Woo's got great fakes Latui, but finally brought down by 3 other of his comrades.
Well, it's
number 10 there with the carry.
And it's Brock Timothy coming from the Cougars' great pursuit, because Tyson Colton catches that edge, Brian, and it's a cutback. But you see there that it was, the first person there, Brock Timothy, the senior, on great pursuit, doesn't give up on the runner, only gets 2 yards, ran a long ways to get there.
Look at the pass. He's got one man to beat. The lineman dives. He's got more. Ooh, hurdles. Finally runs into his crowd to stop him. Bunderson there.
Bunderson, and you see when he turns on the jets, you're going to see him kind of right here. He's going, he's going.
And reading, and then
here he just turns it on. Nobody's catching him. And look how quickly he makes the corner in the first down. Good pursuit by Zach Roll. He does what he has to do.
1st and 10 now.
Allows the first down, but nothing more.
Bunderson looking to pass, airs it out. Oh, intercepted.
Intercepted, and there's nobody there, Brian. He's got 1 guy to beat, and it's a big collision at the 10-yard line. Oh, boy.
Number 10, Tyson Colton saves the day. Bunderson just kind of aired it out, hoping his guy would run under it. Kind of stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe some premature contact there.
Bettis had no idea where the ball was. And number 13, Henrique Moria. And then there's a big collision, and then there was a bunch of contact. So another timeout after the interception.
1:13 left.
We're just going to keep it here where we're going to go to halftime, Brian. And you look at what's gone on tonight, and it just hasn't been the Utes' night, but the Cougars are rolling.
Yeah, like I said, everything that could possibly go wrong has for Uintah, and the Cougars have capitalized on every opportunity that they've been given.
And they're doing it in so many different ways. Receivers are involved. The quarterbacks are both doing, following their assignments perfectly. The running backs, Nick Smith, healthy.
Well, like I said, they've kept Uintah honest because, like you said, I think they thought they were coming into a running game. And that's what we thought, too. When they came out with that passing game, they used to pass, give it to Nick, and he runs it up the sideline, So they've scored on their run, but they've kept them honest with that passing game.
Here's a rush play.
Whoa, some blocking downhill.
And then he gets in the end zone, but there's
blocks in the back there.
Yeah, there's about 3 pieces of laundry on the field. So even though he got across the end zone line.
Watch this line of scrimmage. There was some great blocks, but also some stuff that might have been right there. There's
the
a block in the back. And then he trips over him and he gets in. But yeah, that first block was what will bring that play back.
Also, Cougar fans, just for your information, homecoming week will be the
1:04 left here in the period, and the Cougars are trying to pile on to a beautiful period, leading 28-0. They just want to score here.
Yeah.
So from the 18-yard line after the block in the back.
Sends a man in motion. He's looking out to number 20. He's got him, the man that was in motion.
And he's got the corner.
I don't think he got in.
We're waiting for the signal.
Oh, yeah,
he gives it to him. He dove, Brian, and hit the pylon with the ball, and they teach him to do that.
Weston Horrocks padding his stats there.
Horrocks with a beautiful dive. You'll watch on the L&L Motor replay. Here he comes in motion. He turns about 5 yards deep. There's nobody there until he gets to the 5-yard line. Contact, dive, it's a beautiful call. He got the ball inside of the pylon and did not step out of bounds. Weston Horrocks, what a gorgeous play. 34-0 Union.
Winterton for the PAT. The ball is up, and it looks good this time. Even 35-0.
I tell you right now, Matt Labrum could not have scripted a better start to this game. 35-0 with 57 seconds left. And the horror story continues for the Uintah side.
What a tough team this year for the Cougars. We've gone through some dry spells in years past, but they're looking good this year. The defense, the offense, very well balanced, and they're showing that tonight.
And look at the Cougar crazies. There's more students here on their feet the whole time. Look at this. This is incredible.
It seems like a homecoming game more than a Basin Bowl. Well, Travis and the gang trying to get some fire lit under the Utes so they can try to put something together here with 1 minute left in this first period.
You see number 16 for Troy Ta'ualu. Had the big club on his hand. Must have a broken arm.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, somebody's down there who's got it looks like they got a collarbone or something. One of the players for Union got his pads off and got his arm tied up to him. Usually.
Yeah, it's usually the shoulder or collarbone area, yep.
I could get on Ashley Regional's website and ask him his symptoms and probably diagnose that for him.
Go to ashleyregional.com to diagnose. See surgical procedures, the whole business,
I
right?
could even perform the surgery.
Tyson Colt with a run back to the 20-yard line. We have 49.5 seconds left in the period. And the Utes would just love to have anything positive.
I imagine they'd air it out. They're going to put double to the far side, single this way. Bunderson got a little protection.
We're going to have a false start
there.
Cost you 5, and that's not what you wanted.
They weren't coming out with anything tricky then. They were just going to put Bunderson in an option formation.
See if Bunderson's speed could gain the edge. And you see
got Colton helping him out in the backfield.
When you see a change of pace here now, 3 down linemen and 5 linebackers. So you go more of a 3-4 look.
Anderson to the right side. He's got blockers.
Block. He's got a first down.
One man to beat.
No, I thought he had a first down. He's short by about 3 yards.
He's taken out by number 20 that time. Weston Horrocks.
And they stopped the clock as he went out of bounds.
41 seconds now. Bunderson. They got double out to the near side, single out to the far. Bunderson looking to pass. He's got a man open. Caught about the line of scrimmage. Gain of about 2 on the play. Just shy. Well, let's see. They're going to spot it. I think they're going to give him the first down. That'll stop the clock yet again.
34.2 seconds left. Uintah is out of timeouts at this point. No, we have one for them, so I thought that they had called their third earlier, but they did not. So they do have a timeout left, it appears.
Bunderson with that hurry-up offense. Sends Colton in motion. Connects with Colton. He's going to try to get out of bounds.
You got to get out of bounds, and he doesn't do it.
Oh,
they're going to run the clock. So at 18 seconds left. Now the timeout, I believe they've stopped the clock now at this point. 17.8 seconds left. And we're going to see the call. It is the last timeout for Uintah. They did indeed have one last timeout.
And trying to get a few more yards, but it probably would be beneficial just to get out of bounds.
Run that ball out of bounds, and that's a communication error. The coaches need to make sure they understand. Get out of bounds, get out of bounds, get out of bounds.
Well, 18 seconds, too. They had one more timeout, so they might as well burn it up. But they're showing hope. You know, if they can get some fire lit under them while they go in for halftime, they could come out and surprise us.
It's a game of momentum, and right now the Cougars have had all the momentum. You know, the scoreboard tells the tale. But
that's kind of a halftime is a great equalizer. Sometimes you can come out, you know, a team that's been flat all the first half can come out hot and come back. So that's what we're hoping to see tonight as we represent both teams here at the Basin Bowl VTV.
VTV Channel 6. I want to remind everyone watching the game that there are DVD and Blu-ray copies of this high-definition broadcast. They are available at vtvchannel6.com. Or call the friendly folks at VTV at 781-1902
Bunderson looking to pass. He's got a man open. Throws it over his head and
another
intercepted. Looking to go too deep there. Number 7 with the interception.
Zach Roll, and he's having a fantastic game. And then here comes the extracurricular. We got all sorts of flags. And could this nullify the interception?
I think it was after the play. I think it was some of the linemen getting into it. He just overthrew him, trying to go to the far man. He had number 2 wide open there.
Yeah, he sure did. Cade Bourne was wide open in the flat right there, and he tried to go deep.
We'll see what.
Waiting for the call. It's going to go against Union. Well, here comes the call. It's the personal foul. They're going to tack 15 yards
after the play.
So, and this is where you
9 seconds. Well, do you take a knee or do you try to go to the end zone one more time?
I think Matt Labram's probably going to have him take a knee right here. You'll probably see that victory formation here at the halftime. Had you not had, and Winterton's got a big enough arm, he could have got it downfield from, you know, the 40-yard line, but you take 15 yards off that. And I'm wrong. They showed the two backs surrounding Winterton, and you got Nick Smith in the backfield, 7 yards deep. And here, there's the knee.
It's a victory. It's just a little deeper victory than we used to seeing.
So, an unbelievable half for the Union Cougars here on their home field, 35-0. Stick around for the halftime action here, presented live on VTV Channel 6 on tonight's live stream broadcast, powered by Strata Networks. We're going to take a break, Brian and I, but we'll meet you back at the beginning of the third period.
VTV Channel 6, live high school football coverage. Presented by L&L Motor, Ashley Regional, The Advisor Group, Moon Lake Electric, Pilot Logistics, and Strata Networks.
Are you a busy mom like me with so little time, juggling so many different things that getting your oil changed is the last thing on your mind? You won't believe this. Head to L&L Express Lane. You don't need an appointment. There's a place for your kids to play, and you can use an iPad with Wi-Fi while you wait. And here's the best part. It's all done under 30 minutes or less. Come and see us at L&L's Express Lane. People you know. People who care.
Your movers to the left. What's on the ankle dance?
Tired of fast food insurance plans? At the Advisor Group, we specialize in financial planning, retirement, life, health benefits, home, auto, and commercial insurance. We are your one-stop firm that delivers the solution for your personal and professional needs. The Advisor Group. Service you will recognize.
Western Petroleum may have changed their name to Pilot Logistics, but the employees that you have always counted on locally are still the ones here now. Pilot Logistics continues to provide the Uintah Basin with cardlock services, bulk fuels, lubes, and oils, just as they did when they were Western Petroleum. Call 789-1832 for information about the services offered by Pilot Logistics. Western Petroleum would like to thank all of their valued customers for the many years of providing services here in the Uintah Basin and look forward to serving you in the future as Pilot Logistics.
What do you expect from your health care? A physician you can trust. An up-to-date facility with a friendly staff. Compassionate nurses. Healthcare professionals who will do their very best every day to keep you and your family healthy. At Ashley Regional Medical Center, this is our mission because this is our community and our hospital.
Moon Lake Electric has been a staple in the basin for 75 years. And though many things have changed through the years, one thing stays the same: our dedication to keeping the power on and our priority of doing that safely. We now have a Facebook page, which can be accessed through our website, allowing you to receive energy tips, outage reports, personnel changes, and feedback. Moon Lake Electric thanks its members and employees for 75 years of keeping the power on.
Well, we're back live, and this is new for VTV Channel 6. But while we're here at the halftime, they have the $10,000 kick sponsored by KLCY, KVEL. And you can see the kicker. He's nervously walking around. And there is no worse or a lonely feeling being the kicker on a football field. And they're icing him right here. They're icing the guy they've picked to try to kick it. This is all part of the plan that they don't want to actually pay this prize. No, but this has been something that they've built up for a long time. He holds his hand in the air. We don't have a name. We're going to get the name later. We got two kickers, Jordan Dye, and who's the one wearing the steel-toe boots? Jordan Dye's got Pumas on at least. He might actually, Puma's a soccer shoe. Brian, you got anything to say about this?
I was going to say, those guys with the steel toes, that's unfair advantage, man. He's got at least 20 yards on that still. But the Puma's up first.
Puma's up first. They don't give him a T-stand. He kicks it, and he's got the everything but down. What would you say, 35 yards on that, Brian?
Yeah, at least 10 yards short. A good 10, maybe 15 yards. I think it's just one chance, too, isn't it?
Let's see if they line him up again. And, Brian, I'm not going to lie. That's probably the best result I could have imagined. Usually I see one of these squib like 7 yards and the guy's on his back.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to give him 15 yards and out to the left side, but he went pretty straight. I think he just toe punched it, too. You're going to give him another chance.
He did it the old school. None of this soccer side swoop. He just straight on. And here with the steel toes, what are the odds here?
Oh, not very good.
And after the 10th bounce, he almost got it as far as the first kicker. So that, my friends watching home live, thanks for joining us here on the VTV Channel 6 live broadcast here, powered by Strata Networks. And here on the L&L Motor Replay, he lines up and he cussed out the holder.
At least he stayed on his feet. That's a moral win for him.
Yeah, you don't want to be embarrassed, be having a wet back after this.
Insult the injury, for sure. Well, does the pot go up now? Is this like a growing pot for next game?
No idea, but that was a lot of fun. Thanks for watching live. We're going to be back here at the start of the third period.
VTV Channel 6. Live high school football coverage. Presented by L&L Motor. Ashley Regional. The Advisor Group. Moon Lake Electric. Pilot Logistics. And Strata Networks.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second half action here presented by VTV Channel 6. The Union Cougars hosting the Uintah Utes. And, Brian, the Union Cougars are laying a beat down on the Utes. And here we
got proof of that beat.
Proof of that. And if you're a Ute fan, turn your head because there's nothing positive to show you. Well, we have a large roll of highlights for the Union Cougars. And we're going to start that now. Here on the L&L Motor Replay, you see Nick Smith, and he cuts back, makes the first guy miss, then he's off to the races with a nice block downfield here, and he breaks the only tackler that could have possibly brought him down, scores the long touchdown run, and that was going for it on 4th down. Nick Smith again, watch the cutback, and he makes two guys miss, and then he's up for 15 yards and a touchdown. Here we have Nick Smith again coming around, and it's the huge crackback block by Enrique Maria, and he ought to be thanked by Nick Smith on that one. Here we come.
Boom. Hit again.
And there on a pass, Enrique Maria catches it after Winterton's hit, and he goes up for the touchdown, and nobody celebrates longer than the coach.
Latui there.
This is a 2-yard run by Nick Smith right up the middle, and we see Maria do it again on the interception. He comes back all the way down to the 7-yard line, rumbling and stumbling. Going back to the defense, Zach Roll on a big interception. And here we see, getting in the action, Weston Horrocks takes the catch from Winterton, and then at the end, Jordan Gurr with a big sack. And Brian, it's hunting season. In fact, it's archery season. He pulls it back and lets it go.
Lets it fly.
And destroys the Uintah quarterback in the backfield.
Uintah can turn back now.
Brian,
it's over.
That's how you go up 35-0 at halftime, right there.
Yeah.
It's an easy recipe. I bet a lot of coaches know how to, or have that on their game plan, but very, very few can execute it as well as the Cougars did here. And the Utes receive after kicking off in the first half. They receive it. It's going to be short.
Kicking it deep. Fielded. He breaks the first tackle. He's in a bunch for the second.
Still on his feet to the 43-yard line.
Good return there. Let's see if they got some fire lit under him for the second half.
Well,
Uintah struggling in that first.
Brian, you and I have both been in a halftime talk that went a little something like that, and I think the decibel level was probably pretty loud in the both locker rooms, but the Uintah one was probably a little less pleasant to sit through.
Bunderson bootlegs out to this far side. Like you said, he's just got some speed. He puts a little move. It didn't take much, but it got him a couple more yards on the play. Got north and south. They're going to spot it and give him a first down.
And the Utes never got into their hurry up. They couldn't get anything going. They didn't have any sustained drives, but the referee's standing over the ball. The Utes are lined up. Here it comes. No rest for the defense. Calls his play.
Hard snap. Goes into the audible. Sends a man in motion. Number 23. Keeps it up the middle this time. Bunderson. Gain of about 4 on the play.
So he had the first down, and he gets 4, so it's 2nd and 6. And the Utes doing what they do now. This is a little bit more of the Utes we expected. Moving the ball, getting good positive yardage on every play.
Well, the whole idea of this hurry-up offense is you're betting on you're more conditioned than the defense, than the opposite team.
And right now, Bunderson's saying, no, it's not going to end like that. And he's doing it all on his own. Call number 4, keep calling number 4, and how about a little bit more number 4? And you see Coach Reitzel, get up to the line, get up to the line. Let's keep the foot on the gas. Let's not let up. And look at that run. I mean, Bunderson left, right. It doesn't matter which way he goes. He's doing it effectively.
Oh, number 48, Lofthouse this time. Back to the left side. That helmet, man, those head tackles.
Is that the same?
I've seen more helmets pop off.
And he's lost his twice. And you see here he comes around, and Lofthouse does a brilliant job to make it not a 5-yard loss and turn it into a 1-yard gain. Loses his helmet right at the end. They've got to do something to get those secured down. You don't want a kid taking a crack on the head.
2nd and 7 this time.
Outside, he's going to have the touchdown.
Cut it back in. He's in.
He does. Touchdown.
Good job,
and they do it quickly with 9:17 left. The Utes are on the board for the first time tonight.
Like I said, they got something lit in their belly. Colton, great job. He could have kept that to the outside, but for sure he would have got knocked out of bounds. He just puts a little stutter step and cuts it in for the touchdown.
And then lowers his shoulder so he's down below the level of the shoulder pads of the defender so he can get through him, and he does. And Maria there didn't have enough leverage to stop him. Gets in. Beautiful run by Tyson Colton. And we were missing him in the first half. He had a really quiet first half.
Oh, almost blocked, but up and good for 7.
Up and in.
Coach Labram chewing out his guys saying, wake up, guys. These guys are hot, and they're coming out at us. We got to wake up.
Well, you say one team can score 35.5. Why can't the other team do the very same thing?
Yeah, and they're off to a good start. Like I said, only about 3.5 minutes off the clock. The score now 7-31, still in favor of the hometown Union Cougars. But like I said, Bunderson, man, he was lit up coming out of this his second half, and he was going left, going right. I mean, they couldn't contain him.
No, that's what the Utes needed. They needed it a long time ago, but it's time to build on the momentum of that. They've just punched the champs in the jaw. I call the Cougars the champs only because they're up 35-0, 35-7 now at this point.
The bear.
they poked the bear. Now let's see what the reaction from the Cougars are. The Utes certainly don't think this game is over. And, Coach Ledbram has a point. Guys, you better wake up. So to kick it off, that's number 5, Jury Bettis.
Dusty?
Or is it number 6? Oh, it's an onside kick, but it's handled well.
They were kind of betting on that slippery ball, but he fell on it just the way he was supposed to.
So you see, he caught it on the fly, and that's tough because that ball's coming with a fast rotation. The kicker hit it on the top, and he's hoping for a high bounce over the front line.
Like I said, we'll see.
Yeah,
Winterton and the boys can come out.
Let's see how the Cougars answer the bell. The Utes bringing pressure. It looks like they're calling a blitz right here. Here comes 7. Here comes a quick out.
Out to Latui. Great open field tackle by number 3 that time.
And Brian, it seems like that play is good for 5 yards every time, but more importantly is it puts pressure on the outside edge of that defense and it opens up those running lanes.
Yeah, that cushion, you see the defense is giving them quite a bit of cushion. I don't know if they're worried about their speed or that's just what they've been taught.
Well, and the tackler was Kendrick Kunis, and Kunis is playing in that deep safety position. So you've got the receiver catching it 5 yards deep, and the guy making the tackle is the guy deep safety. And here we go, Nick Smith, big run, jumps, and makes the first down marker. When you watch those highlights,
fired up.
Nick Smith, a little bit more Nick Smith.
Well, look how smart he is. Watch this. He goes out to the right side, but he waits for his blocker, and that crackback block picks up number 88 and allows him to get a couple more yards.
More than that, that was a run play up the middle, and he bounced it outside after he realized all the lanes were full. Oh, and he did not get the first down. I thought he was able to jump and get it, Brian, but they mark it a yard short. Winterton drops it on the ground.
Oh, it's almost. I think they're going to call him down.
Yeah, he is definitely
60,
down, but you're right, 60
came up with it. Well, a big 4th down. I think Coach Labrum is opting to go for it.
They went for it before, and you'll remember the first 4th and 5 they faced, Nick Smith bounces it outside, cuts it back in, and it's off to the races in real similar field position to here. And they do it, they line up again, and you have Nick Smith as the quarterback with 4 receivers out, a guy in motion.
Yeah, they're going to a man defense. Nobody back deep.
And
he keeps it. Nick Smith, can they get him behind the line? Oh, and they do. Good job. Great 4th down stance by the Uintah Utes.
When you see the Utes doing what they have to do, they're stretching that out, stretching it out, and making it so he can't get the corner. And a big-time tackle, number 23 for the Utes, Patrick Massey. We haven't been able to call very many Utes numbers tonight, but Massey did what he had to do. Turnover on downs at the 48-yard line, probably the best starting field position for the Utes all night.
Oh, kind of bobbles it, but Bunderson able to bring it down. He's got some blockers.
Got the edge,
he's got the edge, and he's got the first down.
Picks up about 15 on the play, and the Utes are charged up right now.
Ooh, they're excited.
Seems like a little apathy coming from a team leading 35-0. Probably something you partially expect, but they better start figuring it out because the Utes are getting yardage in big chunks right now.
Well, it's taking the wind out of this crowd, and everybody's kind of sitting back saying, what just happened? Where did this team come from? It's not the same one we played in the first half.
No, not the first one, and then they try the old right up the gut shot with Tyson Colton. He picks up a couple.
It hasn't worked real well. I think the ends are working the best. Yeah, they're trying to keep them honest in the middle. So
yeah, you got to make sure that you don't just have these guys sagging out to the outside edge, trying to cut off all those corners. Oh, missed the ball. He picks it up. He's in trouble.
He's got pursuit.
He's got pursuit.
Throws it. Coleman.
It's caught.
Did he get it? I think he got his hands under it.
They call it a reception, and Brian, that could have been disaster on so many levels.
This L&L replay, like you said, he had that big club coming from behind. He gets rid of it, and the ball, barely gets his hands underneath it.
He did catch it clean. Tyson Colton, Hayden Bunderson, a magical play. Could have been disastrous. Could have been a turnover or loss of major yardage. Instead, gained a couple.
3rd and 5. Oh, no, but that defensive end stayed home.
Yeah, and I'll tell you who that is. That's Weston Horrocks. And Weston Horrocks was he was doing it on the ground for him earlier in the season, and now he's doing it on that edge. And Bunderson never had a chance.
4th and about 11 now.
Utes line up to go for it. They need an 11-yard play. It's all inside the tackle boxes. Ball's still in his hands. He throws it out.
Get up,
He's got it. Lofthouse has got a first down.
That had so many different options. Everything had to go just right. Do you see how many options they had?
It had so many options in it. Made it really difficult on defense.
1, 2,
and watch Lofthouse sneak out into that little flat. Beautiful touch by Hayden Bunderson, and Lofthouse does what he has to do to get the first down.
Great job by the offensive line to give him some time. That play needed a long time to develop, and they give him the time that he had been lacking in the first half. Looking at the outside this
nice
time.
Cutback, Bunderson. He's got the speed. Can he make it pass? Cuts it back in.
splits the tacklers and gets another very close to a first down. We'll see where they spot this. I think it's maybe just a yard short.
Yeah, a yard short. That's a nice thing to have on second down where you're this close to the end zone. That little rollout pass, catching the halfback, drifting across right in front of the linebackers, like what Lofthouse just did. Why not take a little chance with multiple receivers into the end zone?
Oh, they're going to give them a first. They didn't bring the chains out, but they did give them a first down.
So they still can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. They have 2 receivers left.
Oh, Bunderson hit right up the middle.
Well, it doesn't look like he got to the original line of scrimmage. Might have lost about a half a yard. Second down. Just a little over 10. And
I'd like to see him to spread the wealth. You can't kill a willing horse. He's carried this team in the second half, and he's getting tired. They need to let Colton or some of these other players touch the ball as well.
And some creative design. I liked that play. We had Lofthouse just kind of trickling out into that flat. Nice touch by Bunderson. Bunderson's doing a lot right here, but he's the leader of the team. He has to pick it up. And let's see what the Utes have. They had a little jump here. We're going to have
snap. Did they pull the defense off?
They sure did. We have. Oh no, they call it. Oh well, he signaled the false start, but then pointed against Union. Then he corrected himself, went to that encroachment 5-yard penalty. So second and about 6 with that little bit of a loss they lost on first down.
They're in the red zone here. About 9 on the 9-yard line. Second and about 5. The hard snap. Oh, he can't get rid of it. He's going to be drugged down. Oh, and he throws the ball. He's going to be intentional grounding, I believe. We don't see any flags.
No flag. They call it incompletion, and Bunderson got destroyed. He got whipped around. There's a lot of boo birds out. You see right here, Nick Smith grabs him, and he throws the ball, and he was on his feet when he threw it, and he was outside the tackle box. No penalty. And the referee on the sideline was pointing to say that he was outside that tackle box. But, Bunderson took a pounding on that play. Nick Smith just destroyed him and whipped him around.
Looks like they're going to be a quick timeout on the defense.
Well, it's gone so fast and so quick. We haven't had time for our sponsors, but we do now. We want to thank L&L Motor for bringing us tonight's game. Replay coverage is brought to you by L&L Motor. People you know, people who care, and you'll see on this replay right here, watch what happens. He gets caught with the jersey, throws it, and then,
bent over his knee.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that's the whiplash right there.
I thought it was a horse.
Well, you
collar tackle, but he just had his jersey.
Yeah, you can do the jersey as long as you don't grab the pads. Yeah, it's a fine distinction.
A little bit of give in the jersey, not so much in that pad.
Yeah, that shoulder pad's wrapped around him so tight that bends him in so many awkward angles.
Moon Lake also brought to you tonight's game. It's owned by the people they serve. Moon Lake is not a cooperative. It's privately owned, providing power to the area since 1938. So they know their way around.
Have you seen that beautiful facility they have down on Highway 40 and here in beautiful Roosevelt? And they take care of them.
Big third down here. Bunderson out to the left side. He's got blockers, but he's swarmed on fast by the Cougars. Brought down about the line of scrimmage. Now, what do? Do you go for 3 or do you try for 6?
You're down so big, you got to score. You got to score a touchdown. It's touchdowns. Touchdowns get you back in this game.
Another timeout. Coach Reitzel's called another timeout to come out onto the field. We'll go ahead and take a timeout as well. Be right back to see if they can capitalize on this 4th down.
Moon Lake Electric has been a staple in the basin for 75 years. And though many things have changed through the years, one thing stays the same: our dedication to keeping the power on and our priority of doing that safely. We now have a Facebook page, which can be accessed through our website, allowing you to receive energy tips, outage reports, personnel changes, and feedback. Moon Lake Electric thanks its members and employees for 75 years of keeping the power on.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Union High as they are hosting this year's Basin Bowl as they are taking on the Uintah Utes, leading handedly 35-7 here as we come to the conclusion of the 3rd quarter. Still lots of game left, and the people with the momentum are the Utes as they're in scoring position, but up against a tough defense and a 4th down.
Yeah, and you saw what happened in the first period. The tables are kind of turned. Quick strikes, big yardage chunks, good defense. But it's been Uintah doing it instead of Union. The only problem, Brian, is are they taking too much
got
clock?
a screen. He's got the ball. Does he have the first down?
He does have the first down.
He's reaching for it.
He's got the first down. He's just shy of the touchdown.
I think that was Lofthouse again. He's come up with some big plays.
Watch on the replay here. And he just sits in that flat and catches it at the 1 yard line.
He's reaching for it. He's got the first down, trying for that goal.
So from the 1 yard line, the Utes down by 28 points, 30 seconds left in the third period. I go right up the middle, and here's Bunderson.
He's out to the right side. He's got the corner.
Yeah.
He's in.
Untouched and touchdown.
Man, he's fast.
35-14, and you're right, Bunderson is fast, and he is on fire here in this period. It's been all Hayden Bunderson, and he's doing his best to bring the Utes back in the game. But it's a big hole still, Brian.
Not to detract from Lofthouse, though, man. When they needed the big play, they've gone to Lofthouse on those little play-action passes.
And Lofthouse is doing what he's finding that little hole, and he's got sure hands, and he's getting to the chains. He's getting past the chains. He's well aware. The kick is up, and it is
Cameron Oaks.
Good. Cameron Oaks. And Cameron Oaks, part of the soccer team, Brian, one of the things we want to talk about with VTV is new this year covering high school soccer as well. And Cameron Oaks is one of the players. And you see on the L&L Motor replay, Bunderson.
He's like a little jackrabbit, man. He just gets around that outside and takes off.
And you see who's chasing him. It's not like Western Horrocks is slow.
No.
But he just doesn't have the angle and too little, where it's 1 yard deep, he doesn't have enough field to take that angle and cut him off.
Well, Uintah mounting a comeback here, 14-35. Still got their work cut out for him, but showing some progress that we didn't see in that first half.
Well, and the first half and the second half so far have been the first period and the third period went by in a flash. And then we got kind of tied up in a lot of penalties, a bunch of timeouts in that second period. The Utes would like for that clock to go slower because as it burns up, they may run out of daylight here, or, well, we've run out of daylight already, but
run out of time,
I think you know what I mean.
Let's see, did they try for another onside, or did they try to put it deep? They put it deep this time. Nick Smith fields it. Oh, he bobbles it, finally brings it down. He's got room around the outside, but he brings it back to the middle.
You know what, Brian? Unfortunately, Nick Roll put the hardest hit on him right there, or Zach Roll, excuse me, is number 7. You're going to see, and this is dangerous for the Utes because as he gets to that sideline, they collapse, and if he would have been able to catch that edge, and you watch right here, Roll is the guy that hits him. And, and he's thinking to himself, what do I got to do, Zach? What I got to do for you not to knock me down?
Some of the roughest field position they've started with in this game, 20-yard line.
11 seconds left in the third period. Handoff right up the middle. Nobody touches
He's got lots of room.
Wow. It's easy to run for 15 yards when the first guy touches you at 7.
Yeah, look at this hole.
He goes through, and he's almost surprised, like, what is this? And then he gets up, picks up the first down before he's even touched. And that one goes to the offensive line, and that's the third period. Believe it or not, we're going to take a short break from this VTV broadcast of high school football action here in Roosevelt City. We'll be back at the start of the fourth period. And we're back here. It's the start of the fourth period. And Brian, it's the tale of two halves so far.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, for that third quarter, I turned to Mark during the break and said, where did that come from? You know, that was gone in an instant. And it was all that run. It was the tale of two halves. At first, they decided to go to the air, and it just wasn't working for them. It was slowing the clock down. The second one, it was all about the ground game, and it's made all the difference for them.
Yeah, but like you say, there was 2 big plays in the air, and all of a sudden, what was working so well for the Cougars isn't that same play, that quick throw to the outside edge. Winterton throws him over the top of his receiver. Incomplete, and more importantly for the Utes, stop the clock. So very little time off of the clock on this first play.
Second and 10 now for the Cougars, right about the 35-yard line. Nick Smith with a big first play. They're right there at the end of the third. Trying it for it again.
Nothing given. Well, tonight's game was brought to us by the Advisor Group. Financial planning, benefit packages, insurance, or retirement plans. We have a specialized team to help meet your needs. We are the firm of firms, the Advisor Group.
Third and about 8 now.
So many
Winterton
times,
shotgun.
So many times teams do
Latui
favors.
Cuts it up, puts his head down.
Doesn't get it.
There's a late flag coming in. Let's see what kind of penalty it is if he's spearing it, because it scares me when he cuts up and he just puts his head down.
So that's a face mask against the Utes.
That was really inadvertent. I mean, if you look at on a replay there, his hand was there, but he found better purchase right away. He wasn't grabbing onto it and ripping it like you see sometimes. I think that's why they only gave him a 5-yard penalty. First and 10 for the Cougars.
First and 10. What I was going to say is, so many times when you have a big lead, just keep it on the ground the whole time. Just let that clock run, and eventually the clock will run out. The Cougars threw and they had an incompletion, stopped the clock, but now they're going to the ground.
To
Nick Smith.
He comes out with a whole head of steam, man.
He's full steam 2 yards before he hits the line of scrimmage and then just blows through the hole. Watch this.
Look at, he's fast even in slow motion.
Watch how quick he's up to full speed, makes the first cut, one cut and downhill, and it's 10 yards deep. Well, they do mark it a little bit short, so he's got about 2 yards to go.
He's got Nick Winterton in the backfield. Latui out to the far side, trying to get a man to jump. Winterton looking down the field. He's got a man not quite open. Call it incomplete.
Pretty well covered.
Covered.
Will Latui, did everything he could to come back to that ball. But again, look at this, Brian. Throwing.
Yeah, he was well covered. He just, he had it in his mind he was going to pass it whether he was open or not. Luckily, he didn't get it picked off.
So on the replay, but stops the clock. 10:20 left here in the fourth period. Best drive of the half for the Cougars there at the 44-yard line of the Utes. Looks like a pass. We got 2 on the right side, left on and it goes handoff
right
off the middle, and he's got the first down.
That's all they needed to get that clock moving. So they'll move the chains, slow and steady down the field. That's all they need right now. Like I said, run this clock out. They got a W. Yeah, they can finally move the chains. Uintah needing to get the ball back desperately to keep that momentum that they had.
Yeah, they need to stop here, and they need it in a big way. And Latui, he doesn't get that edge, and who was it that came streaking out of the back?
Number
was that
88.
Number 88, that's Talon Strong, just streaking from the safety position, reads it very well, and meets Latui deep behind the line of scrimmage, and it's a big loss, 4-yard loss, so 2nd and 14. A nice read by Talon Strong coming out of that safety position.
Coach Labrum slow to get the play in.
Well, you know, they've set that ball on first down, and the Cougars are right over the top of the ball, but why?
Like you said, you run every second off that you can.
Take the full 25 seconds, you know, and just wait and wait and wait.
Winterton hands it off to Smith.
And it's just not working for the Cougars this half, so that's going to bring up 3rd and long. And he might have lost an additional yard. Looks like they brought it back a little bit.
Big play here, but it's 4th down territory anyways, so they got at least 2 more plays they need to hold the Cougars.
Yeah, this is one of those areas where
Coach Labrum digging into his bag of tricks. He's taking a little longer getting this play called in.
And Winterton goes, hey, Coach.
54 is wondering what he needs to do to get one of those. What I guess they're going to get a delay a game.
Maybe take 5-yard penalty on intentionally. Well, here comes the signal, and it looks like a called timeout.
Yeah, he's going to wait to the very last minute.
And that's nice action by the coach. We're going to take a short break here. Hear a word from our sponsors. We'll be back after the timeout.
Are you a busy mom like me with so little time, juggling so many different things that getting your oil changed is the last thing on your mind? You won't believe this. Head to L&L Express Lane. You don't need an appointment. There's a place for your kids to play, and you can use an iPad with Wi-Fi while you wait. And here's the best part. It's all done under 30 minutes or less. Come and see us at L&L's Express Lane. People you know. People who care.
We got some replays for you guys on tap.
So we're going to watch the first play. It's the touchdown by Hayden Bunderson, and you see him take this ball. No, it's Colton, excuse me. And Colton's off to the races, and he cuts back, like you say, Brian. He realized he's running out of field, and it's just a little cutback. Then we're going to go back. Sack. And boy, I'll tell you what.
Like Colton.
One of the few bright spots in the half. And then Bunderson just turns on the jets, and it's too easy when you're 2 yards out.
Oh, Nick Smith brought down hard by number 5 in the backfield. Great job.
And more loss.
Jerry Bettis there. He read that like a book.
Yeah, and they keep pushing them back. And we're looking at this, and it's 4th and 20. And right here Reitzel's coming out, and he's signaling strongly. We don't want to rush. We want to set up. I believe what he's asking for is set up the return. Set up the return, and you see it's only going to be a 4-man rush, and everyone else is going to come back to block.
The Bettis, he's got guys downfield. He better get away from that ball. Oh, no.
He touched the
ball.
It's a disaster. And who got the ball?
Oh, I think he's got it, but it's on the 1 yard line, or it's a safety.
Oh.
Which one is it? I thought he was going to let it go. It was going to go in the end zone.
Yeah, he needs to let that ball go by, and he decides to try to field it.
Bettis, he's got 3 guys just licking their chops waiting for him to touch it.
This
right
is
there.
where he needs to just let it go. There's nothing positive going to happen.
Oh,
and fortunately for the Utes, he gets up and recovers.
1 yard line.
Yeah, but they just made it hard. They've got 99 yards to go to make it a 14-point game, assuming they can score a touchdown here. So now the defense is jacked up. They want to get a safety really bad.
Hard snap by Bunderson, trying to get some leverage or get some breathing room.
And also to see what the defense is going to give. So they have 4 down linemen. Bunderson looks to throw.
He's got a guy open. Can he get under it? Oh, just off his fingertips.
Talon Strong, if he would have caught that ball, he could have loafed his way to the end zone. And the ball
he had that guy beat. He just a yard too far.
Oh, Talon Strong's thinking to himself, man. And then here comes the Ute coaching staff. You know, it's always fun to watch coaches. They think there's a penalty on every play on the other team.
Oh no.
And the end zone ball snaps, and he drops it, and it's going to be a touchdown. And that seals it, Brian.
There's been some bad snaps all night long on this Ute side. They've had some hard. Seems like.
And look at this with the gift. Number 34, Case Connery, the senior, scores in the end zone, 41-14, and it's all smiles on the Cougars side because so far in the second half, it's been a disaster, and that was the break they needed.
That replay one more time.
Yeah, we're going to watch this because you see coming out, Bunderson, that snap comes hard at Bunderson, hits him in the hands but bounces over his head.
He tries to throw it off.
And it was looks like Nick Smith came in and hit him and caused the fumble, and then that turns into an interception. Nice show of class by Nick Smith picking up Bunderson after knocking him down. And Brian, I think that's the opera from the fat lady starting to sing. I know we got a lot of game left here, but
yeah, and they only got about 6 players on the field. What's going on?
Yeah,
Labrum's out talking to all the refs. Are they trying to? They might have taken that away. They might have taken away that. Labrum's hot, saying we scored that touchdown. They're going to take it away from.
They are taking the touchdown away. I have no idea what happened. I have no idea what happened. And Labrum, if we could put a little fuzzy over his lips, he's not saying kind words on the sideline. They called it a throw because you saw on that action when Bunderson was getting hit. That's what happened. He had forward motion with his hands. Incomplete pass, and the Utes couldn't be more fortunate.
Yeah, I was looking for a PAT set up, and they only had 6 guys out in the field. And Labrum was giving those refs an earful.
He still is. He's going to set up a tent out on the field right now, and there's a timeout. And it's one of those crazy plays, and right here's the forward motion, and it's the old tuck rule. You remember this happened with Tom Brady and the Raiders in the championship game? His forward motion, even though he didn't clearly have possession of the ball, and that ball spits out, and it's an incomplete pass on third down. It's one of the craziest plays, and Labrum has probably a lot of right to be hot, but it's close. That's what the referees saw. 35-14 still. The Utes still breathing. Wow.
They're breathing very shallow right now because they're still on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, there's not a lot of positive things to happen here. But yeah, the kick, the near fumble, recovered on the 1 yard line, and I would say get the edge and get it to Munderson or Colton. You got to get it is 4 down territory regardless of what happens.
He's going right up the middle. He got maybe a yard.
4th down, and Brian, you can't kick it.
You got nothing to lose.
You can't kick it, but
but
here comes the kicking team, and the kicking team's been a disaster all night. And you're going to have a kicker with his heels on the edge of the.
Yeah, literally. And he goes out of bounds. That's safety.
I don't know.
Like I said, you got nothing to lose. I mean, 35-14.
What's the best case?
Give Bunderson around the outside.
Best case scenario is Union has the ball at the 30-yard line. You know.
Gets it away, though. Bobble maybe rolls to the 35.
That's the best case scenario for the Utes, but a very short field for the Cougars. They'll take that gift, and let's see if the Cougars can do anything.
They weren't even trying to rush.
Well, Strata Networks is helping bringing us tonight's game. Strata Networks is the leading telecommunications provider in the Uintah Basin, providing advanced wireless, broadband, video, and cellular services. Thanks, Strata Networks. We're also powering the live stream, which is on strata.tv. I want to thank all the viewers that are at home watching. And it's always neat to hear the stories, Brian, about guys, brothers that are in the military service watching the games, and all over watching these games. We had for the championship game for Duchesne.
Winterton fakes.
There's a
caught. It's caught. And it's brought down.
Caught and brought down to the 15-yard line. And this is what the Cougars have been missing is positive yards on first down. And
that was a good catch and throw. That's all there was to it. I mean, the defensive back was exactly where he needed to
Massey
be.
He caught the ball and landed on Massey's shoulder. How much tighter coverage could you have? But a nice polished pump fake and then throw from Winterton.
In motion, Winterton looking to pass again across the middle, but overthrows Latui.
Yeah, he threw it behind where Latui is going. Does overthrow it. Tonight's game also brought to us by Ashley Regional. Visit ashleyregional.com where you can find health services, recipes, information on medications that you may be taking, look up diseases and find out symptoms and treatments. And my favorite part, watch videos of surgical procedures. Ashley Regional help bringing this game to you tonight.
Right across the middle. Oh, hit right as he catches the ball. Thought maybe been a little premature, but he comes down with the ball. Union now showing off their air game.
Rock Timothy, and they hadn't been getting it going on the ground. And I was a little bit critical of the air game, thinking if you don't complete it, then it stops the clock. But it's what's working right here, Brian.
Yeah, it's bringing it down fast. 6:40 left in the game. They're going to give it to Nick Smith, decleated right at the line of scrimmage, but ooh, he stepped on some knee problems. They have an injured player there.
Oh, it's number 56 for the Utes, and you're going to see on the replay what happens to Hunter Carmen. He goes down, and he's just rolled up on it, right on the calf. We're going to take a little break while they tend to the injured player, and we'll be right back.
Tired of fast food insurance plans? At the Advisor Group, we specialize in financial planning, retirement, life, health benefits, home, auto, and commercial insurance. We are your one-stop firm that delivers the solution for your personal and professional needs. The Advisor Group. Service you will recognize.
Western Petroleum may have changed their name to Pilot Logistics, but the employees that you have always counted on locally are still the ones here now. Pilot Logistics continues to provide the Uintah Basin with cardlock services, bulk fuels, lubes, and oils, just as they did when they were Western Petroleum. Call 789-1832 for information about the services offered by Pilot Logistics. Western Petroleum would like to thank all of their valued customers for the many years of providing services here in the Uintah Basin and look forward to serving you in the future as Pilot Logistics.
Welcome back, everybody. And after the injury, Hunter Carmen, but he left on his own feet. In fact, you can see him on the top of the screen walking off. That's always encouraging. We hate to see these young men hurt. It looks like Hunter's going to be just fine. Winterton hands it off up the middle, and he gets the touchdown. And so the Cougars capitalized for the first time this half, 41-14. It took a long time to get the touchdown they thought they deserved earlier on the fumble in the end zone, which ended up being a pass. Winterton pumps his arms. And is it any surprise to you that it's Nick Smith that gets it done tonight?
Not really.
I mean,
not really. He's
Nick
their
Smith
workhorse, man.
has done everything tonight, and they've given him multiple opportunities.
Yeah, pretty much. They're trying to get their PAT team back together. You'd think they'd have this down pretty pat by now. 42. We got this touchdown replay coming to you from L&L Motors. Different angle here. Look at this downfield blocking.
And then the hop
extra
into the end zone. And I believe that's Nick Smith's 5th touchdown of the game.
It's full steam, and like I said, everything, even the very last burst to get it in, he'll give it to you.
Well, we
don't have a player of the game, but it just might be Nick if we did have one.
Let's say the offensive line collectively, and anytime somebody scores 5 touchdowns in a game, probably
they get the honorary player of the game.
And we ought to just label him player of the game for the rest of the season and see what shakes down from there. So 41-14.
Uintah not liking the outcome of this game, obviously, hoping they could have turned things around. They got a good turnout in this second half.
Yeah, they got 6:23 left, and just still put the gas pedal all the way to the floor. Just don't let up. You got other games coming up.
Yeah, they look a little beaten out there, but like you said, this was the refiner's fire. Everybody needs a good loss just to wake them up, and realize they're not unbeatable.
Well, both teams come in undefeated. One of them had to come away with a loss. And a lot of times it's that advantage of playing at home. You're in your comfort zone. And the Cougars did enough. They did it all in the first half. And then that one touchdown so far here in the second period. 6:23 left.
Winterton back to kick. Puts it deep. Colton fields it about the 15. Goes up the middle, cuts it back to the outside, hits into his own guy, loses his steam, and brought down on the 25-yard line. Probably got to cuss out his own guy for running into him.
So much confusion that happens on these kicks. almost a little pooch kick. It didn't get too deep. Fielded at the 15-yard line.
Whoa.
And he just didn't.
We're on the same team.
And he never really got going. He wasn't.
No,
he never
that's
made a
sad.
decision, you know. But 10-yard run back on the kick return, puts it at the 25-yard line. Decent field position. Bunderson with the ball, and he's got the outside edge. No, he doesn't. He gets tackled by the ankles.
32 that time on the tackle. Who's the guy?
Cole Kelly, and we've got the sophomore getting some action. And you see he comes in on that linebacker, outside linebacker position.
Around this side, Bunderson trying the same thing, cuts it up, and about the same outcome.
Well, that's good defense by Carson Kelly, the sophomore, as well. He was out on that outside edge. Bunderson realized he didn't have anywhere to go, so he had to dive it back up the middle. You'll watch Kelly right here, number 15 on the edge. He comes out and flashes, and Bunderson realizes he's got nowhere to go, cuts back up.
3rd and 10.
Nice containment.
Bunderson around the right side.
Looks to
Look
throw.
At the pass. On the run. He's got a guy open, number 5. Oh, lifts his feet, but does catch the ball. Bettis?
Yeah, Jerry Bettis, number 5, catches the ball, and he goes to make that. And look at this. He's got strong on the shallow, and he goes deep. I'm looking shallow thinking, throw it. He's running out of, the guy's coming.
It's a pretty good arm on the run.
Yeah. Bunderson saw what I didn't see. The deep man makes the right decision, and Trenton Colton, look at him, just power and driving, and takes the whole line nearly to the first down marker, gets about 8 when it should have probably been 4.
Just keeps pushing. Look at, he's hit right here at the line of scrimmage right there. His legs are taken
dead,
and
then he just drives.
Pushing and pushing and pushing. Man.
Strong run by Tyson Colton. Looking both sides.
2nd and 2.
Bunderson keeps it. He's in trouble.
Penetration.
Oh, he shakes the first tackler, and he runs into a host of more. But he did touch his knee down. Loses yardage on that 3rd down play.
Frustrated there. 3rd. 3:48 left in the game now. Moon Lake Electric bringing you tonight's game. Privately owned since 1938.
Oh, they're not privately owned. They're a cooperative, Brian.
They're cooperatively owned.
Yeah, cooperatively owned. Moon Lake Electric, been with us for years here. There's the little step fake.
Oh.
I don't know what happened there, but it sure looked like Jerry Bettis should have had a chance of catching that, but he ran right past it. I called it earlier. That was the 3rd down play right here.
Oh, he just wasn't looking at it. He got tied up with this number 15, and he was gaining his feet, and he didn't even look for the ball.
Yeah, and the ball kind of dropped right in front of him where he's running. It was a nice throw, but you're right, he got hung up.
Ref blowing the whistle dead. Now starting the clock.
4th and 6. Utes playing for pride now.
Man leaving the field, waiting. Bunderson waiting.
Well, he could have snapped it and
ball.
had the.
They got so much. Did you see those coaches?
Oh, nice block. Up to Lofthouse. Lofthouse with load to take down, and he gets 7 after the initial catch, Brian.
I don't think on this replay we'll get to see the coaches. You don't see him, but Lofthouse, great. Like I said, when you need the few yards on this clutch plays, give it to Lofthouse.
Yeah, and did you see how Bunderson threw that ball? He just kind of, he didn't throw it as much as just say, here, you take it. I don't want it anymore. So 1st down, Utes. Henderson hands it to Colton.
Up the middle. You mentioned earlier, but tonight's game, for all those Union fans who want to get a copy of tonight's game, they can find that at www.vtvchannel6.com, or you can call Dell and the guys down there at 781-1902. They'll be happy to hook you up with Blu-ray copies or
Colton
DVDs.
gets the edge here, Brian, and he's up the field.
Oh, my goodness.
And he's still going to about the 15-yard line.
Colton there. Like I said, everybody thought the ball was dead, and he cut it back in.
2:07 left. Again, playing for pride here on the L&L Motor replay. He gets up through, makes the first guy miss, switches the ball in hands, and then goes up.
Everybody thought he hit the ground, but he kept his feet.
Back to Colton.
Colton
makes the edge, comes back up, gets about 5 yards, Brian.
Down to about the 10-yard line now.
No, looks like they mark him down at the 12, so he gains 3 on that first down play. Quickly to the line. Clock still running. Tonight's game also brought to us by Pilot Logistics. Western Petroleum may have a new name, but still the same great company you can rely on. Bunderson up the middle. He's going to score a touchdown. Well, that touchdown brought to us by the Pilot Logistics team. And I'll tell you what, watch this play on the option, sees the end go outside, keeps it to himself, and runs up the middle and isn't even touched till he hits the end line.
Like you said, he's one that has a whole head of steam too whenever he touches the ball. He can turn it on quick, and he sees his goal there. There's nothing stopping him.
Here we go for the extra point.
Cameron Oakes.
Cameron Oakes is going to try to kick it.
Boom.
And he gets it up, and it's good. I've known Cameron Oakes since the 4th grade. We used to call him Fuzz because his hair would never lay down straight. And here's that fake.
Bunderson.
Everyone bites outside with Trenton Colton, and he's not touched until he's across the end zone line. Touchdown for the Utes. 20-point lead right now for the Union
21.
Cougars.
That's a little bit easier to swallow. It's not a big old goose egg. You can go home. Like you said, there's a lot of good things you can take from tonight's game. Like I said, your both teams coming in, they're kind of on their high horse. Neither one have been beaten. They're both against their rivals, so they had a lot to prove. But Uintah can go away from tonight's game proud of the effort that they put up, and they can learn a lot from what they did, and get ready for the next game.
Yeah, now I expect an onside kick here still too. I think the fight's not done in their mind, but man, the Cougars.
They're tough this year.
If
like
I was a Cougar fan, I would call Dale at VTV right now, 781-1902, and I would just put that on constant loop that first half. Just play it on every television in the Roosevelt area, and just say, you couldn't script a better half. You couldn't have more things go right for you. And Nick Smith came out with a chip on his shoulder about the size of Texas.
Like to think.
So here comes the kick. And they do go deep with it. Bounces about the 25-yard line.
Nick Smith just laying down. So they'll go ahead and take a knee and get this one in the books.
Well, we have out here in the wind and the rain, Devin Allred up on the Select Rentals Skycam, and that's the loneliest place in sports right there.
Yeah, he's got nowhere to go. He's
you can't come down at halftime. And it's kind of like when you go on the road trip with your kids, you just ask them, have you gone to the bathroom? Do you need to go to the bathroom? Because we're sending you up there, and we're not even going to let you down. And sometimes if he's been fighting with his brother, he'll leave him up there even extra long. So, just to be
like
honorary.
I said tonight, he was a lightning rod up there. We had some lightning and rain earlier on in the first half. That's hazard pay.
Yeah, does he get double time for that? Yeah,
he's gotta.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of that's fair.
I complain about not having a chair, and he's been up there for 3 hours without a bathroom. So, props to Devin and the Skycam brought to you by Select Rentals here in Roosevelt. For all your rental needs, just contact Select Rentals.
Trips to the right, but they go for the running play. They've got a new horse in the backfield. I think that's Sean Thompson, who's a sophomore, getting, I believe, his first run of the night. Well, I want you to stick around. We're talking about it, and we've had it for the first games here this season, but it's new. The highlight reel. We're going to go to the highlight reel. So after the game's over, stay with us, folks. Watching at home, we're going to go to those highlights. But look at the Cougars. 23 seconds left. Trips to the right.
They're going to try their JV team out. He's going to keep it out to the right side, number 15. Rocked. He's saying, welcome to varsity, buddy.
And that's about going to do it. There's 11 seconds left.
Where are we headed to next week? Is it
Well, let's take
City?
a look at, I wonder if we can bring up the schedule real quick before we go to the highlights.
I thought Park City both times.
Yeah, we've got Park City next week, here again at Union's home field. Then we're going to go on the 26th, Park City at Uintah. Then we're going to go over to the west side of the Uintah Basin for Duchesne and Altamont and see some of those games. But Brian, let's go to the highlight reel as the crowd goes nuts. And here comes the fans pouring over the edge of the railing, and they're going to go celebrate with their team. But here's Tyson Colton going to the outside edge, the little cutback, and that's what scores the touchdown. And you see, here's right up the middle, Nick Smith with the touchdown, then Hayden Bunderson, he decides, you know what, I need something for myself. He makes the 2-yard touchdown run, and here's the Nick Smith dive right up the middle. This is going to go up the first half. And then you see right at the end of the game, Nick Smith after the punt and 35-yard drive, then Bunderson to wrap up the scoring.
A little more balanced in this second half with the highlight reel.
And that one was one of the neat plays of the game when you saw Weston Horrocks dive for the pylon and touches the ball on the pylon to score the touchdown. Well, both teams shaking hands.
Yeah, good game on both sides. Like I said, Uintah's got to go away with their head held high. You know, they had a tough loss here against their rivals in the 2014 Basin Bowl. But like I said, they can regroup. They can still have a very successful and good season. And like I said, props to the Union Cougars. They're starting off tough this year, and
3-0.
They could have a good season.
Make some noise. So Brian, we've got technically 2 home teams where we're broadcasting with VTV Channel 6. It's a no-brainer on the Cougar side of the ball. Nick Smith, probably a game that he'll never forget. 5 touchdowns, I don't know how many yards.
Like
He's clearly a player of the game.
Tackles, yeah.
And I think my vote would have to go to Hayden Bunderson. He scored 2 touchdowns. He did a lot of good things in the second half. Nothing worked for the Utes on the first half, but I would say for the Ute side, Hayden Bunderson, player of the game.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, a little lopsided on the Union side. Nick Smith definitely carries.
Blew up after having a quiet first 2 games. Well, I want to give special thanks to the high school administration and coaching staff for their coordination and helping make this coverage possible. They're sharing the booth up here with us. Want to thank the Union High Cougars. Excellent game, having us out here. We'll see you next week, folks. Union Cougars take on the Park City Miners. I'm Mark Mason. With me was Brian Nielsen. We're going to call it a wrap. Good night.
VTV Channel 6. Live high school football coverage. Presented by L&L Motor. Ashley Regional. The Advisor Group. Moon Lake Electric. Pilot Logistics. And Strata Networks.